here we go.
Absolutely.
Hello. 11.
fantastic guests joining us and coming on today. Jeff, what in the hell have you been up to? Miz Tracey, you two. Sadly, Ray Sherrod will not be joining us tonight. He's still suffering and recovering from COVID. Please
Love you, Ray.
please get better, my friend.
Yep.
Jeff, what have you been up to? Besides moving.
The move is done. We are officially in the new house. We are finishing all the other stuff, and then we start we tackle the man cave. So that probably won't be until September. So, but at least we're here. We're all moved in. We just got a million boxes. Friday night, for those of you that saw, I played Tony Hawk Underground 2.
Sorry.
On my retro stream, and it was very adequate. And I just thought of, while I was just getting my drink before the show, I realized I had saw a TikTok with Tony Hawk, and they talked about the video game, and he told a story about how he showed up. I don't know, it was somewhere in LA, and he was meeting with whatever company produced it, his rep, the guy that, they're like the A&R guy, but for video games.
Yeah.
And just to talk about it, he hands him a check for $4 million.
Oh.
Four. And that was whatever year that was. Cause he didn't even say what year it was. That was a lot of money. And the guy goes,
with a B?
No, M, 4 million.
Okay.
And he goes, what do you do? Just go to the bank machine? You just go and put that. He goes, yeah, I think I just went to the bank machine in LA and just put it in the bank. I just didn't know what to do with this check. And
they don't take the giant checks.
No. So because they were asking him about, the video game and stuff like that. So I don't know if I can find the whole interview, but it was just a snippet on TikTok that he had posted. But yeah, it was back whatever year that was. He got $4 million. And that was like 90s money. So that would be who knows what it in today's money, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, apart from that, that's just gaming and streaming and rebuilding man caves and all sorts of stuff. Miz Tracey, what have you been playing? How's your partnership with how's your partnership with 7 ways to
7 days to die? Yeah, that we had that stream that they sponsored. The dev sponsored my stream, and they gave me game keys to give away, and that was really cool. So I got to give away the game 3 times, and we played, and I let chat, because we have chat interactions on, so I let chat spawn zombies in on my head while we were trying to fight off hordes of zombies at the same time, and it was a good night. So I've been playing a lot of that. I just started playing Grounded, which is really cute and a lot of fun. Picked up Stardew Valley again. Still playing Halo and Ark, and just I'm on too many games.
So
I spent half the stream like relearning how to play the game. I
have I do that quite a bit. If I go a month without playing a game, I have to learn the controls again pretty much. What was that game you just mentioned?
Could they not have all
Stardew Valley?
Together?
No. Grounded? Is that
Grounded.
where you're little tiny kids in the backyard?
Yeah. And there's spiders and shit.
Yeah. It's like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, kind of.
Exactly. It's exactly like that.
Yeah. So is that a multiplayer and all that, or?
Yeah. So I think you can have up to 4 people. It's a game preview, but it comes out as a full game next month.
Oh,
so
that's amazing.
I'm excited. So it means that everything that we're doing this month is garbage, because when the update comes out with the full game, it's not going to work with our old saves.
Not going to transfer through. Oh.
No.
Gotcha. Anything else you've been up to?
Just a lot of gaming. That's it. I've been I work at the bar. I do advertising and stuff for that. So that's the only other thing I do other than my gaming stuff, really. I'm boring.
Well, I've been super busy. Here in my small little town, I do IT work, and I went and tried to repair a computer, and it caught a virus. And what the virus was doing is it was pegging the hard drive to 100%. Like even at idle, it would peg the hard drive at 100%. And I ended up getting rid of it, and then I think the hard drive died. So I'm going back Monday to to work on that a little bit more. But I've been playing some PGA Tour. Ryzak, he's got a little society in PGA Tour, and it is a hell of a lot of fun. It's the Stadia Society, I believe it's what it's called. But anyway, enough about us. Jeff, we have some amazing guests, man. Do you want to bring them out?
We do. This first guest I've been chatting to for months. I've been trying to get him on the show, and for various reasons, scheduling and everything else, I have not. Sixation is here. Welcome.
Woo.
Yes, you have, and I feel so bad for being so unable to reach out and be as consistent as I normally am. But
it's okay. I know you've had a lot going on. I know you've had a lot going on personally and otherwise as well. So I understand it's no big deal. But you're here now, so
I am here now. Thank you.
I
guys
think it was
very much
like
for your
2 months
patience.
ago. He's like, "Yeah, how about August 14th?" I'm like, "Sure."
It works.
Hey, I made it.
Yeah.
And I just kept sort of following up with you and making sure you were good, and here we are. So
I appreciate it. Now the patience is very much appreciated. A lot of people where if something comes up, they wouldn't be understanding. They'd be like, "All right, we'll just whatever. We'll find somebody else." And then you kept at it. You're like, "Hey, you good now? You want to try again?" And yeah, I appreciate you working. Working with me as an introvert. It helps out a lot.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And Retro's helped me a lot with being an introvert, man, because it's so easy to start those conversations, and we all have a basis that's familiar to fall back on. I love Retro. Go ahead, Jeff.
No, I was going to say there was somebody else I was talking to who also schedules for one of their podcasts. And yeah, we were just reminiscing on how hard it was, to schedule guests and whatever. I've had a lot of people turn me down, just go, "You know what? I don't do podcasts," or "I don't like to talk," or "I don't know anything." And so I get more people turning me down than actually coming on the show. So if you guys have been watching for a season to see all these people, a lot of people have turned me down. I've been trying to get Neo Geo guys on. They all say no. They all say no.
I only had one data book for my birthday episode next time, and I still had trouble finding 2 people. So props to you for finding everybody for all the other episodes too.
Yeah, scheduling can be difficult. It really can, especially when people don't know who you are. You're like, "Hey, I'm me, but hey, come on, it'll be fun."
I reach out all the time. Be like, "Hey, just come hang out. Let's play games together. Come over and play these games." Like most of these games here are multiplayer games, and you don't really want to play them by yourself.
Yeah,
like I love Gauntlet Legends. I love Gauntlet Dark Legacy. I love the Ninja Turtle beat 'em up games, but it's not nearly as fun playing it solo. You want at least one friend to come over and hang out with you, and it's tough. Like it's a tough job reaching out constantly and trying to put yourself out there.
Yeah, now with COVID, it's even impossible.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, my kids no longer want to play with me. So, whereas in the early 2000s and stuff, we gamed a lot together. We'll talk about that. But now it's just like, I don't want to game.
That sounds like a great reason to have kids, just to have somebody to game with.
Hey,
and to bring you beer.
Oh, that too. Yeah, that too.
Tracy, is that not what kids are for?
No, that's right. I got teenagers and that's what we do.
So it might take 8 years, but we can pad that D&D table out. We're going to get some more people playing.
Exactly. Oh, Philip Rivers, he's a professional football player. He wanted a baseball team, so he went and had 9 kids.
It's one way to do it.
It's one way to do it. Our other guest, Jean-Luc, also known as NinjaGuyX.
Hey everyone, my name is not Jean-Luc, it's Pierre-Luc, but thanks for the effort.
Jean-Luc, hey, he's in Star Trek mode. What can we say? Captain's log.
Yes.
I was close.
I'll give you credit for that. Yeah. How are you doing?
Nobody else knows your real name, so
nope, it's a mystery.
I know.
How are you, NinjaGuyX?
Very good, thank you, William. How are you doing?
Oh, doing great, man. Doing great. Jeff, go ahead, man. Start your thing. I know you like this part.
It is true. So we talked a little bit about before the show. So Sixation, we'll start with you, just because you came in first. So tell us a little bit about you. Tell us your history. We'll get into that room behind you in a minute. But more importantly, what does retro mean to you? This is a question we ask all our guests. So what does retro mean to you?
So, a lot of you guys already see it, but next to my name's there, Sixation. I go by Six. I've been a streamer on Twitch for about 4.5 years now, and I started doing it because I really had nothing else to do. I'm a disabled veteran, so there's really no job out there that I can do, and I needed something to do in my life because there's only everyone's like, "Oh man, I'd love to work at home. I'd love to just stay home today," but there's only so long that you can do that while keeping your sanity, with not having anything to do. So I was like, I'm gonna try streaming, and I kind of jumped around from various games for a little bit, and eventually I got partnered on Twitch. And once I did, I was like, what I'm doing isn't making me happy, so I'm gonna chuck everything to the side and just go full-time retro. So as you guys can see, plenty of retro games behind me, like everything from Atari to I got some PS3 still boxed up. I know I know a lot of people don't consider PS3, Xbox 360 retro. That's fine, but they're still old games. There's still a lot of exclusives on those consoles that you really can't play anywhere else. But
that is a question I was going to ask you. Is PlayStation 3 retro? Because there's a bit of a divide in the world. If it is,
I don't think so. But if you do, I'm not gonna gatekeep it. I personally consider anything 20 years or older. Like if the PS2 can drink, it's retro. So like the PS2 can totally drink. I consider it retro, even though a lot of the games on their own, 16, 17 years old, stuff like that. But part of my disability is massive memory loss. I don't remember a whole lot from when I was a kid. I don't remember a whole lot from my late teens. I have vague little flashbacks here and there of certain games that I played a lot, but I know I played a lot of games when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So retro for me is very therapeutic. It helps remind me, it helps me regain a lot of that childhood that I've literally lost because it doesn't exist in my head. But it makes me happy. It brings a joy into my life that modern gaming never has, for the most part, and it just helps me relive a part of my life that just doesn't exist in me anymore.
Interesting.
So, if you don't mind me asking, how did you get your memory loss?
We don't know exactly for sure. It could be due to concussions, maybe depression, and PTSD also has a side effect of memory loss. So there's a lot that's gone on with me, and it's impossible to pin down which it is. We just know it's one of those. And even if we were to pin down, hey, it's related to your depression, it's related to your concussions, there's nothing that we can do to fix it anyway.
I have the same thing going on. I have EDS, it's Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and memory loss is one of the big issues with it. And there's nothing they can do for it.
Yeah,
there's
exactly.
no magic pill that'll give you your memories back or make you be able to remember things or whatever.
I've tried playing, brain teasers. I used to play a lot of Sudoku. There was on the DS Brain Age. I don't know if you guys ever played Brain Age on the DS. Loved it. Played it every single day. There was another one on my my Vita that I used to play a lot too, all these brain exercise games, and there's none of it helps. It's fun, but none of it helps. There's just not really much you can do about it.
Interesting.
But replaying retro has brought back some memories where I'm like, hey, I really enjoyed this as a kid, or I really enjoyed that as a kid. And it's helped, it's done a lot to kind of bring back some of the things that I've forgotten just by, just playing it again. You've forgotten a movie, you've forgotten a game, but once you start watching it, you're like, oh my God, now I remember, what all happens in this movie.
I'm old, so there's a lot of things when I do This Week in Retro. I was like, oh my God, I forgot about Hugo's House of Horrors.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I forgot about this game. Then I see it as I'm doing my research for the thing and for the segment. And it's just like, oh my God, I forgot all about that. Right. Oh, yes.
And that's what a lot of this has done for me. So even recently, I actually just got some new 32X games. I love 32X.
Oh, yeah.
I know it doesn't have a giant library, but I love 32X. And there's two games that I remember playing a lot in my childhood on 32X. Afterbirth 2, which is my favorite 32X game of all time, and this really obscure fighting game called Cosmic Carnage.
Nice.
Ooh.
Which I don't know if anybody played it, but it's like a space futuristic monster fighting game. It's not great, but I bought it just because it's I played it a lot as a kid, so.
That's fantastic. One of my favorite games for the 32X was the Star Wars arcade.
That's one of the 5 games that I have for my 32X, is that Star Wars arcade one.
Nice.
Could not pass that one up, but actually I
know it's hard.
32X yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah, you can't. We always say on the show, you can't compare today's games with the old games, right? So there's no such thing, and at least I believe there's no such thing as an older bad game. Even I have ET for the Atari, which some people argue is the worst game ever. But you know what? There are people that like it.
Killed the video game industry.
Yeah, he picks the good titles.
Oh, y'all are gonna hate me when we talk about worst games ever. I always get flack for it.
Oh, I can't wait. Pierre-Luc, Ninja Guy. Same question. There you go. Yeah. So yeah, tell us a little bit about you and what does retro mean to you?
All right. So yeah, I go by the name of NinjaGuy, and if you have at least a small glimpse of interest in the Stadia community, you probably know about me. I am involved in a lot of stuff in the Stadia community. That's what I do as a content creator. So, for example, I take care of I'm an organizer in the community, the Cloud Gaming Championship, which is happening right now. for Stadia. I am taking care of the Reddit wiki of Stadia. I am part of a talk show with my friend Four Scars Gaming on Fridays called Stadium Connect North. And right now, this is like the major things that I can remember, but it's very fun. On Tuesday, I have a radio show on my local radio, actually, and all I do is put video game music. So I am very knowledgeable in video game music, which I'll actually show you guys. I have a pile of physical audio media here from retro games that I took out. So I'll show them when we're at that. And other than that, yeah, I've been gaming all my life. I've I do like retro game. My most nostalgia is mostly out of the PlayStation 1 because I am a 90s kid, like me, a mid 90s kid. So I have more knowledge of that. But I did play a lot of, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and all of that for sure. And I think I had one more thing to say, but I can't remember.
What does retro mean to you?
Yes. So retro, actually, for a long time, for me, retro meant, when a company stopped supporting that console, kind of, then I feel like it's retro. So at the time, for me, like PlayStation 3 was retro because, you can't find a new build of the PlayStation 3. But that kind of changed when I heard someone the other day, I can't remember who, but they said, you know what, like retro is like 8-bit and all the 90s stuff retro and things like that, and the era with PlayStation and all that, they're called a classic era. And it got me thinking, and I feel like between PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 3, it's more like a classic era, and retro is more like a how can I say that, like a lifestyle, I guess, because like the pixel, the 8-bit, the the 3D glasses, the zigzags in the 90s. I feel like retro is more like like a vibe, like the type of music, synthwave, and all of that. So it's really hard to exactly say what the retro is, but to me, it's all of that.
So is PlayStation 3 retro, or have you changed your mind?
I changed my mind. It's a classic console.
It's a classic.
I can
that was
all that right there.
Okay.
Yeah, some people draw the line with HDMI. Once the consoles reached HDMI, oh nope, that's too current.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I was like it really bugged me because I knew that PlayStation, like you said, like PlayStation 2 3D, like it doesn't. I don't like saying that it's retro because for me, like retro, it's pixels,
Mm-hmm.
But you're right with that. Like it's really hard to distinguish.
And some people do say with the 3, you can't buy a 3, you can't buy new games like you can the 4 and the 5, or even the Xbox. So, so there's no right or wrong answer to that question. Just so you know, we're not grading you. You don't get a grade at the show.
It's like the only place where I feel like we're not debating about it. Like we just say and that's it. Yeah.
NinjaGuyX, what got you into gaming? What's the first game that really got your attention, or that made you feel like, man, I'm going to continue doing this in the future? This is where it's at.
Well, I was a gamer since I was born. I think like the first memory that I remember, I was in a basement playing, Mario and a game called 31 in 1, which was a local kind of a bootleg Nintendo game. And there was like 31 games of Nintendo in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was like, I never heard of that one. Well, that's why.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Like it's
like those all in one boxes that you can get.
Yeah, it was like it was a Famicom game, and you had a converter that you have to put in and make it work. But it was all English games, so I have no idea why it was a Famicom game. But anyway, that's where I started. And when I was a kid, I was like, eventually I'm gonna, be like the old people and just get out of this hobby, right? Like everyone else. But after a while, I don't know when was that point, but I was just like, you know what? Like I can be a gamer all my life. That doesn't matter. But I don't remember when I started that.
When the bug got you.
Tiger Man. Yeah. yeah, exactly. What is Tiger Man? Are you talking about Cheetah Man? Cheetah Man. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, it might have been called something else.
Action 52. I don't know if you guys remember that, but that's not the one. That's not the one I was talking about.
Right.
Hey, Lukey.
Was there a lot of French language games? Because you're French, right? You were.
Yes. I never played a French game. Actually, that's video game is pretty much how I learned to talk English and read English. I don't know why, but no, I never put French in my games.
Okay.
There was the option, but no, that's for some reason I just enjoyed the original content.
Okay.
I always like to watch whatever is in their original state, basically.
Did they ever make French only games? Do you know?
There's a
don't.
lot of
Good question.
Yeah, that's a good question. There's a lot of French developing teams, but they always
Ubisoft Montreal is
Ubisoft is what?
is huge, right?
Yes, yeah. Sabotage Studio on in Quebec is also one. They did The Messenger, which is an awesome game. And but no, all of them they still prioritize English on their language. I don't think I've ever seen I think Siberia might be one.
Oh,
I know that Siberia might have been prioritized in French, but it's fluid. It's been a while since I've heard about that game, so but I don't think so.
Same question to you. How do I say your name? Sixation?
Yep.
Okay, Sixation. Where did it all start for you, man?
I've been gaming as long as I can remember. My first console was the NES. I have very vague memories of playing Double Dragon 2, Adventures in the Magic Kingdom, Mario, mostly Mario 2, actually, more so than Mario 1. I remember, what was it? It was a remake of another game. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, Doku or something.
Yeah. But I do remember playing those, but it wasn't until the Genesis era that I really started getting into it. Where I started playing a lot like Sonic, the Lost Vikings, the 32X games that we were talking earlier. That's when I really realized this is for me. I'm an introverted kid. I don't talk to a lot of people. I don't have a whole lot of social skills. I just love playing video games. So it was mostly the Genesis era, which to this day the Genesis is one of my two favorite consoles of all time.
Yeah, I really that's one of my favorite Marios, actually. It's a very obscure one because a lot of people haven't played it. But yeah, I like the way the princess could float and Luigi kick his legs and could get, super high jumps. I love that game, man. It was so much fun.
That game's great. I don't think it gets enough appreciation these days.
Absolutely not.
So what, Mario 2 on the NES?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We may talk about it later.
Yeah, but that and then more so Adventures in the Magic Kingdom, which is one of the old Disney Capcom games.
Yeah,
it's a really silly game. I've been born and raised in Florida, so I assume because I've gone to Disney and Universal and all that kind of stuff pretty frequently that that's why my parents got it for me, because it's it is based here in Orlando. But it's a really silly game where you have to go on these 6 rides and collect these 6 keys to open the park. So you have to go into the park, do these rides in order to open the park, which doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, but it's a pretty silly it's a fun game. If you've ever had the chance to play it, Adventures in the Magic Kingdom, highly recommend it.
Good deal. NinjaGuyX, you are very much into soundtrack of games, man, and there's so many games that I love the soundtrack to. Simon's Quest on the NES. That is a great soundtrack. There's a whole bunch of them. Blaster Master, I like that one. Bionic Commando. There's so many. But tell us about your little collection and your feelings about soundtracks to games.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, I hit him on screen. That's not what I was doing. I was making you full screen, and I'll do that now.
Oh, look at that. All right, so for some reason, I developed a very big interest in music and video game music, and I think I spend more time listening to video game music than actually playing them. As you can see right here, there's actually the soundtrack of the new Ninja Turtle Shredder's Revenge, which is an awesome soundtrack again. But yeah, I've noticed, when I discovered Napster on my first computer, that's all I started doing. I started downloading like Final Fantasy remixes and so on and so forth. Just had a real passion of listening to all this music, burned them on CDs and listening to all of them. But anyway, so around 2013, we started to get a small scene of a lot of people interested in video game, music physicals like vinyl, cassettes, CDs, and it's awesome because since then it's developed into a hobby for a lot of people, and we're starting to see a lot of physical soundtracks out there. So I'm just I just took out all of my retro game soundtracks that I have. So I decided let me show you guys what I have.
Thank you. Absolutely.
Yeah. So
now a soundtrack to a game is called an OST soundtrack. Is that correct?
Well, OST stands for original soundtrack.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So sometimes I will say OST and sometimes I will say soundtrack. It depends. Usually when you say original soundtracks, it just means that it's like it's been published by the people who own the soundtrack. So it's original, right? So it makes sense. So these are actually not original soundtracks. They're actually bootlegs. And the first one is Ristar. I'm actually not too familiar with this one. Ristar, but it is it a Genesis game? Are you guys familiar with that one?
It is. It's a Genesis game, yeah.
Ristar, nice. I haven't had a chance to play this one a lot, but I really enjoy having it. And then I have Contra Hardcore. I think Sixation is gonna like that. I have a lot of Genesis stuff in here.
I'm a big fan.
Very nice. Oh, this soundtrack is amazing. And then my favorite one on cassette is Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
I was just playing that today, actually.
Very nice. Yeah, no, I love that one. Yeah, I pre-ordered the CD on limited run games, but it's taking so long to come to me. But I can't wait to get the actual OST. This is just a bootleg, and I've been playing it a lot. I love that game. Next up is Sonic's 10th anniversary CD. So this is just it has like a compilation of a bunch of Sonic soundtrack, Sonic songs in there, right from the beginning to up to Sonic Adventure 2. It's pretty cool. It got a coin, an official coin.
Great.
That is beautiful.
It has a little booklet. I think it's in Japanese. I didn't get a chance to read it, but it has some interesting information.
Oof.
I think I'm getting some eyes in here. I love that. Let me show you guys the most recent soundtrack that I got here. I'm not sure if it's considered retro, but it's Banjo-Kazooie.
It's totally retro. Yeah,
absolutely.
Awesome.
Definitely.
And 64.
Nintendo 64. You're right. And you could only get it from the Nintendo Power magazine back in the day. So it's very hard to get.
I miss those.
Yeah. It's very hard to get. Mario 64 is the same thing. Wave Race. They're all hard to get. The only bad thing that I got on this one, unfortunately, is Denny Lano signed this one. So, Denny, I've got your copy. If you lost it, I have it in my hands.
So since that was only available through the magazine, how did you acquire it? Did you have to go hunt it down, find it on eBay or something? Or
yeah, like I like to sometimes I just like to hunt soundtracks. And what I did is I went on Kijiji, which is a classified ad website in Canada. And what I just write soundtrack in the video game section. And I just scroll, try to find the rarest stuff. And I saw that one for $60, I think, Canadian, which is still expensive, but I had to get it because I was never going to find it again. So it was pretty exciting.
Yeah, I've seen you do vinyl as well, haven't I?
Yeah. Okay, so I'll just go quickly with the cassettes and the CDs. I got Another World, which is out of this world. Yeah,
I love that series.
And I've got Final Fantasy Tactics, which is two cassettes, which is pretty cool. Yeah. All right. So with this vinyl, I got a few here. I've got Rock and Roll.
Believe it or not, that Final Fantasy Tactics game, I bought that and was very upset with how it played, but I fell in love with it. I did. I ended up falling in love with that game. Go ahead.
I guess when you buy a game called Final Fantasy, you think of a certain type of game, right? Yeah, exactly. So Rock and Roll Racing, made by the one and only Tim Fallon. This is a SNES game, and it has songs from from popular bands like Deep Purple and things like that.
Nice.
I have another one here from the same guy who did it. There's a Silver Surfer, which is again from Tim Fallon.
I love that artwork.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I was just thinking you could frame that and put it on a wall or something.
No doubt. Yeah.
The only old record that I have here is Pac-Man Fever. So I don't know. Maybe Jeff recognized this album. Yes. So
now, how did Pac-Man make a album when it's just is it just the Pac-Man music and him eating ghosts and stuff, or what?
So it's an album made, if I'm not mistaken, in 1979 or 1980. No, 1982. So it was during the Atari era, and it was. I think that Atari asked this band called Buckner and Garcia. They're like, you make all of these Atari songs. So they have songs of Donkey Kong, Centipede, and all of
Oh.
that. And they just made like really, really cheesy songs. I really recommend for people to actually listen to it at least once because it's very cheesy. It's very fun to
Raider,
just listen, you know.
Raider Guy 87, Kevin, he's our encyclopedia of nostalgia and retro. He pulled that out of his hat before you said it. It was amazing.
Oh, nice. Good one. Then we have Mother 2. Can you guys see that title in North America? What is it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Wow.
Other two?
Earthbound, yes. So another good one. We got Toe Jam and Earl.
Yes!
Always
Love the
classic.
bass. They slapped the bass in one so hard.
I
really
love
like
that
one.
music.
Yeah.
Now I got it stuck in my head.
Yeah. Man, I have more Genesis game than I thought. I have Outrun here. Which
Nice.
is another
Love
good one.
Outrun.
That's a
Yeah.
classic, man.
Good one. And last but not least, so you like Final Fantasy Studio Pro Gaming? I got the whole Final Fantasy V set here. It's a box set of 5 vinyl, which is
Nice.
pretty cool.
That is
yeah.
beautiful.
Pretty.
Now it's really weird though. What Final Fantasy is it here in the States? Because they're all like,
So Final Fantasy V never got a North American release.
Oh,
so
okay.
we don't have a number. The first time it came out here was on Final Fantasy Anthology on the PlayStation 1. So we still got it, you know, was it in the early 2000s or late 90s? But it was considered Final Fantasy V back then. Yeah.
gotcha. Yeah, I loved all those Final Fantasy games, man.
Yeah.
3 was probably one of my favorites.
Yes, 3. On the
7,
Super Nintendo?
of course, but that's an
I'm a
easy
sucker
one,
for
you know.
6.
Everybody loves
So
it.
yeah, 7 is definitely my favorite too, and I love that they decided, you know, to expand the world, just make many more games out of it because it gave us a good one.
Final Fantasy 6. Was the villain Kefka in that one?
That's the one, yes.
Yeah, that was a really good one too. I think it started with you in those little mechs or whatever.
Yes,
I
I gotta
think-
agree with you. 6 and 7 is my favorite. They're both of my favorite Final Fantasy.
Yeah, you get an airship and everything. It's amazing. I love those games, man. I absolutely do.
Definitely.
So Sixation, are you an RPG person? Do you have a favorite?
I like pretty much everything. I'm not, unless they're arcadey ones, I'm not a big fan of sports games. So a lot of them are the same.
Yeah, they are.
I love arcadey sports games, like, you know, like Mario Golf, Blitz NFL. I love stuff like that. But I will play pretty much any kind of game out there. My favorite is survival horror. As far as genres, but I do love me some RPGs. In fact, when we were talking about soundtracks just now, when you know we think about video game soundtracks, I love the Mega Man games. I love
those are
Ghosts and
great.
Goblins. There's an
Nice.
RPG series that I always bring up that a lot of people have not played, and I would swear it's one of the best RPG soundtracks you'd ever hear. It's a PS2 game. It's actually a series. The first 2 are on PS2. The third one's on PS3. But it's an RPG series called Arts and Elico, and it is a game about music magic. So if you're actually involving music as magic, you better have a damn good soundtrack for it.
Yeah.
They developed a whole new language for that game, and it's a bit of a looty game. Like just full disclosure, there's definitely a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Whatever.
Suggestive?
Very suggestive, yes. But like whenever something is like seems normal but could be taken a different way.
Innuendos?
Yes, lots of innuendos in that one. Yes, lots of innuendos. But the soundtrack is like absolutely top tier. Like I have played the soundtrack for friends. I have played it on stream, and just for the soundtrack alone, I've had a lot of people be like, "I really want to play this game now." It is one of the most incredible soundtracks you'll ever hear for any video game. But it's not like a main series one, and it's not like a super classic game that we've grown up with. So a lot of people just don't know about it. But it's a very incredible soundtrack game.
Definitely. I actually never heard of that soundtrack, so I'm writing it down right now.
I would go look at Artelico, ARSPACE-TONELICO. The first and second one.
But yeah.
Yeah, absolute incredible soundtrack. I cannot recommend this enough. Like you can just get lost in listening to this. They have one particular song that's about 15 minutes long.
Oh wow!
And it's not a loop. Like they do have a chorus that goes over and over, but it is a full 15 minutes straight of music, of lyrical music.
That is awesome. If I would recommend a soundtrack that nobody probably heard about, it would be Blue Reflection on the PS4, because this is also an RPG. It's an RPG kind of similar to the story of Sailor Moon. Like it's very, very I'm going to say like girly, but it's for anybody. But
niche or whatever.
Yeah, niche.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
And someone one day, I'm like, you know what? I'm like, guys, give me a recommendation of soundtracks that you think I've never heard. And someone said Blue Reflection, and I just couldn't believe how good that was. Arts and Lego. Now that you showed that, I remember owning that at some point. I just never actually put it in
full
my
screen.
PS2.
What did you have there, Six?
Oh, it's the first two Arts and Lego games.
Okay.
It is very much like a waifu collector type game. So for the first one, I don't remember like too many of the details, but you have these two girls here. They're referred to as Ravatales. They're able to use song magic, and as you go through the game, you can choose like which path you want to go, like which one you want to kind of snuggle up to and get close to, and use them in certain events and stuff. And they actually have two different song styles. So depending on how you play through the game, you get different music, different soundtracks based on which girl you prefer to use. And then I have the third one as well, but I have the second one right here too, which more waifus, and it's other than being full of innuendos and waifus, it's a really good RPG. Like it's a really 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 good series.
So Sixation, have you ever played the Atelier Iris games?
I've heard of it. I know a lot of my friends that have played it, but I have not played it myself.
Okay. I was thinking maybe it was like the same kind of style, but if you're not familiar with them, then probably you wouldn't know, right?
No, I've seen a lot of people play those. Like I love RPGs, but when you look at how long an RPG is, not all of us have the time or the motivation to get through and go through all of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that is so true. I mean, now RPGs are upwards of 100 hours, just to get through the main content, let alone all of the story that's there for you. So absolutely, man. Go ahead. One thing, Ninja Guy, have you ever looked into the Fallout soundtracks? Because Sierra mentioned the Fallout soundtracks, and I love those soundtracks. They take one or two oldies but a goodie, music, but it's just they have an interesting collection of music on their titles.
Yes, I am familiar with them. I think Fallout 3 was like kind of rare to find as a vinyl for a while, but I think they reprinted it not too long ago. Like for me, these type of soundtracks, I have a harder time to get to listen to them a lot, because they're more like slow, right? They're more like ambiance type of game, like Skyrim, right? They're all like more. They're really fun to listen when you play the game. But for me, when I just sit on the couch and listen, I feel like it doesn't do enough for me to keep me entertained. But it's not that it's a bad soundtrack. It's just that it's just my brain, I guess, just doesn't.
I understand.
It's too epic for just chilling to listen to. You gotta be playing along with it.
Well, like something that I like to do. I DM at a Dungeons and Dragons table, and I have like six guys that come together and everything. And when I'm gonna DM and I'm gonna write basically a story they all get to interact in, I'll turn on like Duel of the Fates or something, and listen to that, just because it's orchestra and it builds moods in your head, and I love that kind of stuff. But I really love it when they have that in a game, like Simon's Quest. Like I can't get over how great that soundtrack is. Right from the beginning to right when you turn it off, that music is right in your head.
I love it too.
Whenever I need a motivator, I love turning on the Guilty Gear soundtrack. I'm not very good at fighting games, but man, do I love that fighting game music.
Yeah.
Ooh, that has a way of just getting you to do, like, just getting you up and out of bed and just motivated to do whatever it is you don't want to do.
Absolutely. So I think Jeff needs that motivation now. I think he was nodding off for a second.
I'm sorry that we're boring you over here.
No. I'm sitting here rocking and listening.
Yeah.
It's all good.
So, Jeff, do you have any music that you enjoy in video game?
I don't, because anyone who's been on my streams know I turn the music off. Because even I what was I playing? I don't think it was Tony Hawk. Yeah, it must have been Tony Hawk.
Oh, you turned off Tony Hawk.
It's got great music.
I understand, but I got 2 copyright strikes.
Oh,
all I did was go in to turn the music off, and I got 2 copyright strikes just
Oh,
by
man.
going in and turning the music off. So
Jeez.
that's why and anyone who's watched my stream, they're like, why is there no music on? I turn the music off because
Well, you have to have a
Gotta.
game. You had to have played a game where you did appreciate the music, though. What's one of those?
I can't think of one. I know, long time in the Madden community, Madden and all the EA sports games had very rich soundtracks, lots of songs on them. But I'm a hard rock kind of guy, and most of the music that they're not hard rock songs in.
There's a game coming out. It's not retro, but it's called Metal Hellsinger.
Okay.
And
I saw that.
it's an FPS like an FPS where you have to
Oh, right.
reload
Yeah.
to the beats.
Yeah.
They have they've got like big names on there doing the soundtrack, and they have already said everything is going to be royalty free. You do not need to mute the music when you play that game.
Awesome.
And that was one of the biggest worries I had when I saw that game come out. I was like, I'm just not gonna be able to stream this. And they put it out ahead of time. No, we've taken care of it. There's no streamer mode, nothing like that. Play the game normally, and you will not have any issues.
That's awesome because everything you do, you shoot to the beat. Like if you can't play the music, it's not going to be.
And then when your score gets
entertaining.
high enough, vocals actually kick in too, which is a pretty.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
really?
sweet.
Man, I need
That's
to play
sweet.
that. Yeah.
One game that we didn't discuss that has a awesome soundtrack is Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal.
Yeah.
Doom
Amazing.
Eternal,
Yeah, I mean, amazing work on those. I love that, man.
Sorry.
go
Go ahead, Will. Oh
No, I was just saying, it's just got such a heavy,
Yeah.
it's right in your face as soon as you start the game. I love it, man.
Like
I
I
love it.
just got a copy of Doom on the 32X yesterday. Like I was playing it earlier today.
So cool.
Nice.
I had
That's
to
one of
make
the
sure it
best
worked and
versions.
everything. You cannot go wrong with Doom.
Yeah, I bet you that plays like butter on the 32X too.
Oh, it's so good.
I bet.
It sucks that you can't like strafe left and right, but it's just the data controller. Everything else plays amazing.
Yeah, exactly. So I have the soundtrack of Doom, of course, on vinyl, and the composer is Mick Gordon, and there's some interesting story about that. So Mick is amazing. Like when he did a live concert, I think on Gamescom or like just a convention anyway, and he was there like rocking with his guitar. He had like a tie, like a very business tie, while like freaking rocking. Was so crazy, so crazy. And then he released the album on vinyl and stuff. It was nice. We're still waiting on a vinyl for Doom Eternal, and we might not get it because they had a conflict between him and the publishers, id Software. He was supposed to release the soundtrack digitally, but
he's also supposed to have full control as well, isn't he, over his soundtrack or whatever?
Yeah, there's a lot of things around those two, like they contradict each other, so it's hard to say who's right and who's wrong.
Yeah.
But you're right. So there was a lot of delays. id Software asked them a few times, I think, to get it out, and he didn't. So what happened is id Software took their sound engineer to release the soundtrack for people who were looking for it, and it's not mastered. It's really not sounding too well for the audio file. And Mick was not happy about that. I think the engineer it's David something. I can't really remember his full name. But yeah, so I don't know what's going to happen. We might not receive a vinyl of that. We might never hear back from Mick. He might not do any more Doom game from them. So hopefully they'll get that figured out.
Yeah, absolutely, because that would be an awesome one to have. It absolutely really would.
It all comes down to what's in the contract and who has the rights.
That sucks, man.
Yeah, it does.
And then if the publisher thinks one thing, eventually if they push hard enough, it'll end up in court, and then the court will decide. But again, it's
Well, even if it's not his exact vision, I think the soundtrack is amazing. I love it, man. It really gears you up to play that game, even if there's horses in the chat and you're throwing your controller because the game is kicking your butt. It's still so much fun.
That hardest difficulty for it is brutal.
Oh, I just did it on normal, and that hurt, man. And then I got through the Ancient Gods, and that was even worse. That was even more brutal. The Ancient Gods Part 1 and 2.
I am an absolute sucker when it comes to like achievements and trophy hunting and stuff like that. In fact, my it's gonna sound super silly, but my local retro store actually just let me borrow a copy of Pokemon Heart Gold.
Okay.
I don't know if any of you guys have play a lot of Pokemon and use Pokemon Home and stuff like that. But on Pokemon Home, there's like a lot of challenges on there. Hey, you know, trade this Pokemon for this Pokemon, or complete this Pokedex or whatever. And some of the ones they have on there is transfer a Ho-Oh from specifically from Heart Gold, and a Lugia specifically from Soul Silver. And if you guys aren't familiar, Heart Gold and Soul Silver are very, very, very expensive games.
They are, yeah.
They're very pricey. So I always had Soul Silver. I still got my copy from when I was a kid. But he let me borrow Heart Gold specifically just to transfer that Lugia over. So I can get that achievement done. Because I'm a sucker for achievements. Like, I'm an absolute sucker for them. On Doom 2016, I think I actually got all the achievements for it, but there's actually only one achievement related to the highest difficulty, and that's just clearing the first level. Being the first level on the hardest difficulty, like I don't remember what it's actually called, but you have to go through the entire game without dying. If you die once, you start back at the beginning of the game.
Oh wow!
There's a specific name for the mode. I forget what it's called.
Permadeath.
It's like UEM or something like that. No, that's the name of the level, but it's Ultra Nightmare, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Right?
Dude, that sounds intense. I could not.
It's rough. And it took me a few tries to get to the first level, and I think I tried beating the entire game that way, and I made it to like a little 5 or 6 or something. But I'm just very grateful that I only had to get to the first level on that difficulty, because I was like, man, I want all these achievements.
So this year,
doubt. At least you got to snatch that achievement. That's cool.
Yeah.
This year, I finished Nightmare mode on on Doom 2016, and it's the hardest game I've ever played in my life. Oh my gosh, it was amazing. Like, it was amazing, but
it's so good that you're cool to just keep playing it over and over and over again.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. It's one of those games that as you ramp up the difficulty, you have like such a smaller and smaller margin of error for avoiding creatures and keep dashing, and it gets quite intense.
A moment that I remember is you beat a boss and you're like, it can't get any harder. It just can't. It's impossible. And then this boss is just a regular enemy throughout the remaining of the game. You're like, what?
Well, I've literally struggled with a boss for over like 40 minutes, and then I throw my controller down. Yes, and it stands back up. What? You mean I got to kill this thing again? No.
Oh man.
I got a question for Sixation.
Sure.
Tell us a little bit about what's behind you.
Yeah.
And then I have a follow-up question about.
Oh boy! All right.
You.
So this is. Oh, my camera is not. Super
Oh, it's all right. It'll adjust. There you go.
But this is my very messy. I haven't streamed in a couple months. I straightened it up just a little bit, just for you guys. But this is my very, very messy stream area that I have here. Right here, and this is only like part of the shelf. There's actually like a whole section right here as well. But all my consoles are right here. Ataris, NES, Super Nintendo, Genesis, Saturn, N64, GameCube, Dreamcast is down there as well. My Xbox that I'm actually modding my Xbox, so it's not down there at the moment. 360s hooked up behind me. I got Dino Crisis on the TV behind me as well. So I've got my 3 arcade cabinets here, which is the Turtles and Turtles in Time 4-player arcade cabinet right back there.
Oh, lovely.
This red one here behind me is the X-Men vs. Street Fighter cabinet.
Oh, that's a great one too.
Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom, X-Men, Mutant Apocalypse, and Children of the Atom on there. X-Men Children of the Atom. And then the Pac-Man game right here, which just has various Pac-Man games on it. You know, Pac-Man, Super Pac-Man, stuff like that. Miss Pac-Man. And then I always like to put like just some retro game on the TV as well, just to kind of have, something extra to showcase back there. So I'll hook up one of my consoles. Right now my PS3 is hooked up, so I have a lot of the PS1 games on my PS3. So I just pick a PS1 game most of the time and just play it.
So my other question is,
sure.
How do you sort the games? Because I've always
brave of you to assume that I sort them.
Everybody has their own little.
Well, you sort them in alphabetical order. You sort them by genre. Obviously, you sort them by genre. So piece of 1, 2s, Genesis 3, 32X. Keep them all together by type. But then within that, you do them alphabetical. Do you do them by release date, or do you just shove them in any old place and just the order's random? So
I have all my consoles hooked up to an AV switcher. So to remember the order for them, I kind of just put the release order. So NES is 1, SNES is 2, Genesis is 3, I think N64 came out as I got N64 as 4 and Saturn as 5. I don't know for sure, but that's just the way I have it set up. As far as the games go, I don't really have an order. My biggest collection by far is PS2. Like there's 3 shelves right here of the far back one of PS2 games.
Well,
I can see the little white strip on top to tell it's a PS2 game.
Say, now that you're discussing your collection, what's the most interesting piece or the most piece that you're happiest with that you got?
The most valuable one that I have is Misadventures of Tron Bonne on PS1.
Oh, wow.
It is a very expensive game. Last I checked, $800+.
Nice.
Holy cow! For a
PS1 game. Yep, I bought it for $20 years
No
and years
way.
and years ago.
Oh my gosh.
Years and years ago. Yep. That is easily my most expensive one. I have
like that's getting into Neo Geo territory there.
Yeah.
So Sixation, I know that you're a horror fan. In terms of PS2, do you have like Rules of Rose or Kuon or some of the obscure, like all of these?
I have obscure. I actually
nice.
actually have it sitting right next to me. I do have obscure. I don't have Rule of Rose or Kuon as much as I would love those.
Very cool. Very nice.
Obscure, last I checked, goes for about $250, and the only reason I have it is because one of my local retro stores, I was leaving as somebody was trading it in. And I'm like, I don't want to lure over them and be like, oh, I'm just gonna sit here and wait till you trade it in. So I called the store later, and they quoted me for $150. And I'm like, this thing goes for like $250, nearly $300. Yes, I will take it. I didn't tell them that. And I went in the next day, and they're like, "Oh, so we underquoted you, but we're going to honor what we quoted you anyway." And I'm like, "Yes, I will gladly take this copy."
Yeah. Very
Absolutely. Cool. As far as the slim PS2 or the OG thick one, I have both. In fact, my OG thick one is modded with a hard drive in it.
Oh, nice! It was that the original PS3, the one that would do the original PS1 games and certain PS2s or something.
PS2.
Oh.
So on the back of the PS2, there's actually a hard drive you could put in there, which you needed to play things like Final Fantasy 11. I think you could use it for a couple of the games, but it wasn't widely used. But I am very much a pro emulation person. There's just emulation has done wonders to keep the retro community alive. There's just too many games out there that are way too expensive or just completely lost to the winds of time, essentially. And I love fan translations too. Like without emulation, fan translations would not be possible. In fact, there was a game I was playing recently on my Sega Saturn. It's called Bulk Slash, and it's a Japanese only game. It's like a mech fighter game. It's like a kind of like a shoot 'em up mech game, like part mech, part fighter game. And there's a team behind it that not only translated all the text but redid the voice acting as well.
Wow.
Oh wow.
So it's full on in English, which I thought was fantastic. And I'm just an absolute sucker for fan translations. I love the work that people put into this stuff. But I've got a hard drive in my PS2. I've got if anybody has a Sega Saturn, it's very, very easy to mod a Sega Saturn. You get a little piece, put it in the back, and you can play Japanese games and stuff like that. Super cool stuff. But I just love the work that people put into making sure these old games are still relevant in this day and age.
Yeah, a lot of people are still creating their own homebrew and releasing them on these consoles.
Yeah.
I mean, they're literally keeping a lot of stuff alive. They absolutely are.
So real quick, y'all were asking about one of my favorite things that I have. I love this little piece right here that I have. The official Lethal Enforcers case.
Oh,
gosh, that's
nice.
so big.
With the big gun? Yeah. Well, the gun came in the box.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It is all in here. It is all in here. Registration card and everything.
Wow.
So the only thing that's missing, I'm gonna show y'all one more thing real quick if y'all are cool with it. And this is
share as much as you want. We love it.
I love preserving posters.
Ooh.
Like I absolutely love preserving these old Sega Genesis posters.
Oh, that's lovely, man.
Yeah.
So we got I paid pretty good money for this frame right here just to get this actual poster preserved.
Nice.
And I've only got it done for a couple of them. This one and this one right here.
Oh, that's
the original
beautiful.
X-Men poster for Sega Genesis.
Man, why did they have to fold these posters, right?
I know.
God bless them. They are fantastic to me. been kind enough to set aside other posters that they were just going to throw out. They weren't going to do anything with, just knowing that I would take care of them and do stuff like this with them.
Wow.
Yeah, so many of those posters, man, had awesome, fantastic artwork on them, and then they're folded in the book you got, and you kind of destroy them trying to. Oh, I love Ninja Gaiden.
So this is the most recent one that I got right here.
Nice.
Ninja Gaiden and I got I got the original like Jurassic Park poster, Batman Returns poster,
nice,
Sonic 2, stuff like that. I haven't got a chance to frame them yet, but I love preserving this kind of stuff because there's less and less of these all the time. They're more official ones are not coming. They're never coming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same with a lot of the old arcade cabinets. We watched a guy who had a whole garage full of stuff, and he was bringing these old cabinets back from the dead, and fully restoring them too. It looked quite amazing. Anybody that's doing that and keeping this stuff alive, man, my hat goes off to you.
Yeah, no matter like what your role in it is, either emulation or recreating stuff, or preserving stuff, or just putting a little bit extra life into stuff like that. Like bless you for doing that, because it cannot be an easy job, and it's not like these people who put the work into fan translations or restoring cabinets. It's not like they're making a lot of money off of it, if anything. No, it's all just a passion project.
Yep. And I think this guy got into it because he wanted his own arcade, and he looked at prices and was like, man, I could probably repair this stuff myself. So he got into it, and just amazing. He's come so far with it. Yeah, I recently got into sandblasting. You can take a old piece of steel or anything that's got rust all over it and make it look brand new again. That kind of stuff is just amazing. Sixation, you mentioned that you are a survival horror fan. Well, this is a very early version of that type of game. But what did you think? Now, Ray, one of our other hosts who's sick right now and can't join us, he hates, and I mean he very much dislikes Friday the 13th for the NES. What is your opinion on Friday the 13th, if you have one?
Okay, so I played Friday the 13th on NES for the first time about a year and a half ago. And everyone was like, you're going to hate this game. This game sucks. Nobody likes this game. I will give you my honest opinion. It is one of my favorite NES games. I love this game. I actually have a Nintendo 4 score for 4 players, and I specifically bought one for Friday the 13th. I love that game. There are a lot of really bad horror games out there. I don't think that's one of them.
I don't either.
The music is catchy. The mechanics aren't too difficult. It's a fun game to play with friends.
Yeah, and Jason randomly appears. You do get the villain, and also if you're educated.
So hold on. So I always get Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street always mixed up. I was thinking Nightmare on Elm Street. Nightmare on Elm Street. Okay. I love to death. I did not watch. I don't watch. I'm not a big horror movie fan. I love horror games, but I love Nightmare on Elm Street. Friday the 13th wasn't bad. Like it's not as good as Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, that's the one where you enter the house, right?
Yeah,
and you're trying to make it to the boiler room, and
yeah, you have to like swap between the counselors and whatnot. It's a difficult game.
It is.
It's a very difficult game. Like that was a recent one that I played. I actually played both those around the same time for the first time. I don't have an instruction booklet for anything, so I don't know if that covered a lot of the stuff, but the game does not hold your hand on anything.
No, it doesn't. It's like
it doesn't. And I remember looking up later on, I was like, what am I supposed to do? And I'm like, I never would have figured this out.
Yeah. There's a lot of games like that where they don't really hold your hand, or the solution is so strange, like The Secret of Monkey Island or whatever. Like, there's no way without getting a heads up or trying everything, to try to figure it out.
Yeah, you wonder who figures it out for the first time. Like,
yes.
There's an RPG app called like Fanadu or something like that. It's a lot of people have said you'll never there's like a guide like this thick you need to get through it, and I'm like,
it's funny you bring that title up,
but I've just kind of accepted. I'll probably need a guide for some of these old games.
It's funny you bring that title up because Ray Sherrod he loves that game, Fanaxanadu or however you say it. He loves that game, but he despises that Friday the 13th. But I liked it because
it wasn't bad. But a lot of people did tell me I would hate Nightmare on Elm Street, and I love it. I love Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, so you've beaten it then. You've made it all the way to the boiler, or because you can use Game Genie codes, and there's a whole bunch of ways to cheat.
for Friday
what I
the
do.
13th. No, I have not beaten Friday.
Oh no, I mean Nightmare on Elm Street.
I beat it once.
I
beat it once.
Yeah.
I wanna play it with friends because I love just the 4-player concept of it. Like I love couch co-op. You know, we don't have couch co-op games anymore.
No.
And I just love them to death. But I do want to like beat it with friends at some point.
Yeah, well, NinjaGuyX, he brought up the soundtrack to the new Ninja Turtle game. And I don't know if any of you guys have played that, but that definitely hit me in the nostalgia. Like,
heard it was
that
good.
was an incredible
I haven't
game.
played it.
Yeah,
That's
it's on
game.
xCloud and Game Pass and stuff. Definitely check it out. It's
on Game
very,
Pass?
very cool. What's that?
Yeah.
You say Game Pass?
Yes.
Oh, sweet.
Yep, Shredder's Revenge. It's really cool, and you can do co-op and stuff, and or is that just online?
No, you can do couch or online co-op.
Okay, cool. But yeah, it's a really cool game. It's brand new, but it feels very much like the old arcade.
Oh, it's very old school feel. Yeah, it's the same. If you ever played Scott Pilgrim, like when it first came out, like it doesn't have the same feeling now because it's been out for a while and other games like that have come out. But when Scott Pilgrim first came out, that scratched a massive itch that we have not had scratched in many years.
Yes.
Yeah, like the what is it? Is it Final Fight or Final Night? Yeah, Final Fight. I think it is. Those kind of side-scrolling beat 'em ups. I always love them. The Double Dragons, even something that's not very similar, but Russian Attack. I used to drop so many quarters into those games, man.
Streets of Rage was a good one.
So, question for both
Streets
of
of
you.
Rage. Go ahead.
I was going to say, question for both of you. What is your worst game? Because I've just picked up for the Atari, as everyone knows, E.T., which some will claim almost killed the video game industry. But
he raises his fingers like nothing happened.
So there's always.
But backstage, you alluded to the worst game that we may hate you for it. So
yeah, I get the feeling like with a group of 4 of the people here, somebody's probably going to agree with me, somebody's not going to agree with me. Out of all the games that I've streamed, there is one game that I have said I will never play this game again. I absolutely refuse to play this game again, and it's not Superman 64. I played Superman 64 on stream. It sucks, but for charity, I would do Superman 64 again. But I utterly loathe and despise Mario Sunshine. I cannot stand that game.
Oh,
Wow,
interesting.
It
Did not think
made
you were
me
going there.
miserable.
Really?
Now
Too
I did
cheerful?
not like it whatsoever.
is that the game where you're going around washing stuff or painting stuff or both?
yeah.
You get a little spritzer on your back. You just go around cleaning off this ink and stuff, the paint from the Shadow Mario. I made it most of the way through the game, but the controls were bad, the mechanics were bad, and like it just.
So like a power wash simulator. Before
I was gonna
Exactly.
make that joke.
I
You
was
made
thinking
that
that
joke
too.
right before me. Come on. I was like, they made a sequel of that, you know.
I've seen like a lot of other people feel the same way I do, so I'm like, okay, I'm not alone. Like I don't know if you guys have seen that one meme where it's 2 people sitting on the bus and like one's looking at one's looking at like the rocks, the mountain cliff they're passing by, the other guy's looking the other way, and you see the big bright sunshine. There was one meme I saw where they're both like looking sad, like one's looking at the rocks, like look, it's the same image looking sad, and and on both sides it's Mario Sunshine. Like no matter, I'm like, okay, cool. It's not just me. Like I'm not the only one that doesn't like this game.
No, and it's funny because I did enjoy Mario Sunshine, but at some point I was talking about it, and everybody in the room didn't like that game, and it's really surprised me because I don't know what's so bad about the game that it's people just really hate it, but it's the case for some people, which is interesting.
So what's one of your favorite games, NinjaGuyX? And then on the opposite side of that, what's one of your least favorite that you purchased and was like, oh no?
Well, it could be a rental. He could rent.
Yeah, it could be. It could be
a rental. It doesn't have to be an own.
Okay.
Well, wait a minute. He said he was a 90s kid. I don't think they rented stuff back then.
Oh no,
Well, yeah, they did. Come on.
Totally different in the 90s.
Give me a chance there. My favorite series used to be Kingdom Hearts, but it changed recently to Xenoblade Chronicles because what they're doing is amazing. They're still bringing out the amazing quality RPGs that we don't see a lot lately. in terms of putting their passion into, world crafting, music, and storytelling. You don't see like a good combination like that in many RPGs lately. So this is why I've considered them to be one of my favorite series. I can't tell you which one is my favorite game because they all hit the right spot.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's my favorite series.
But that's why, not to cut you off, but that's why I tell everybody to check out Larian Studios' Baldur's Gate 3, because it is one of those well-crafted narrative, it's in early access right now, but when it's fully released in 2023, hopefully early, it will be one of those titles to look out for that reason, for the crafted storytelling and, all that stuff.
It's so fun. I did play about 5 hours of it, and oh my gosh, they did an amazing job. No wonder they put it in early access, because you're already getting your money's worth. Like it's crazy. In terms of my I can't think of exactly what would be my least favorite game, but I can think of one right now, and everybody's gonna hate me for it. I never enjoyed Ocarina of Time on the Nintendo 64.
Oh wow,
That's my favorite game.
I thought I had a hot take.
Yeah. I don't know why any Zeldas I can't get into them, other than like Breath of the Wild. I really enjoyed. I'm sorry, I know everybody hates me because of that, but it is what it is.
Look at my necklace. I love Zelda.
I know. I'm so sorry.
So you did like Breath of the Wild, or you didn't?
I enjoyed Breath of the Wild.
Okay.
It's a good one. But Ocarina of Time, I play it, and I hate for the love of God, I hate looking at walkthrough. I hate looking at guides. I just hate it. And Zelda, I just can't. I never was able to finish Ocarina of Time. I was never able to. For some reason, my brain just can't figure out the puzzles. The water temple, forget about it. Like I just can't.
Yeah, is that the one with the fish? Like where you're trying to get to the bowels of the temple with the fish looking thing. Yeah. My brother struggled with that.
I remember looking once in the walkthrough, and it was because it was at the beginning of the game, and I was like, how could you figure that out? You have to like get out into the Hyrule section there, the whole thing, and then for some reason you have to go back and talk to the girl with the green hair.
Sorry.
But there's no hint about going there. Anyway, I'm gonna stop ranting because I know everybody loves this game.
To be fair, even the biggest Zelda fans hate the water temple, though.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
That's notorious, like to this day, that is just one of the worst parts of a video game. Period.
Yeah. It's just that's the thing. Like, I think if I would have played the game along with a guide, I don't think I would have hated it as much. But I really wanted to play this game without a guide so bad. I spent so many hours and was, I just ended up being frustrated. And
that just seems so weird to me, because I feel that Breath of the Wild requires more of a guide than Ocarina of Time would.
Interesting.
It's open world though, I imagine.
Big, massive open world, and please find me one person that found all the Koroks without a single guide.
I didn't even get to play that one, so I don't even know what that is. Are they hidden items around the map or something?
Or hidden creatures, like 200 of them.
Yeah, I would never try to find them without a guide.
You gotta find them, and all you get for it is poop.
Yeah.
Like literally, you get a golden piece of their poop as a reward for finding all of them.
Now that is a troll from the developers. He worked so hard, and he's like, "Here's your golden nugget."
Yeah, but much respect to the people who like Zelda. Like, I'm not dissing. The game is well crafted and everything. And
well, what did you think of the original? If you ever played it,
same thing, unfortunately, because I can't, for the love of God, finish the first game. I thought buying it on the Game & Watch would, encourage me to finish it. I tried it, played it. I just can't figure out what to do. Like, I refuse to look at guides.
I'll tell you a little secret.
I actually bought it for the Game & Watch too, and that's the first time I ever beat it. Like, I got it. I'm like, I'm determined to beat Zelda 1. I've never beaten it before. I am determined to, now that I have this little Game & Watch for it.
Zelda 1 is so rewarding to beat too. I mean, because once you learn it, you do learn it. But like, I would suggest, if you want to look up like just 2 guides without ruining the whole game for you, look up the heart guide so that you can get the proper heart containers, and then rush for that legendary sword right away. That's what I would tell you to do, because then that sword shoots. I mean, it's powerful, man.
That's good to know, because I enjoyed Simon's Quest that we were talking earlier, but I knew
That game don't hold
I-
your hand.
no. So, and I knew that the place where you have to like use a tornado, like I
Yeah,
knew that
kneel
that
next to this wall and use an orb and a tornado carries you. It doesn't make any sense.
I knew that this part I had to look for a guide. So what I did is I played the game, and as soon as I was lost, I was like, "This has to be the part." So I looked at the guide, I looked at that, and then I just finished the game, without a guide, and that was enjoyable. But yeah.
Well, here's another question for you guys. Simon's Quest is one of those games that I loved the music as a kid. I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't actually play it. All the NPCs said the same damn shit that didn't tell you anything, and like I got frustrated with it, but. Later on, as I grew up, I revisited it and I did complete it, and I have even more respect for it now. Are there any titles that you guys played and was like, that's crap, and then revisited as a older adult and enjoyed?
I don't know if it quite applies to what you're saying, but I did recently revisit and rebeat The Lion King on Genesis.
Ooh, that is a
I don't
tough
think
one.
I don't think it's nearly as hard as we remember.
Oh, okay.
I really don't. Like I beat it in the first night. I'm like, wow, there were a couple of parts here and there, but I don't think it was I don't think it was nearly as tough as we all envisioned it and remembered as kids. There's way harder games out there.
Yeah, I remember the real hard part was the monkeys that would throw you around.
Yeah, and that's at the
the
beginning.
giraffes,
But once you kind of learn which one's the roar at and whatnot, it's like, okay, I just need a refresher and kind of trial and error for which ones to go, and then that's it.
Nice.
Gotcha. How about you, Ninja Guy?
I think Resident Evil 1 was one of them. I remember as a kid, I would always die. I would never know what to do. But in the last few years, I think like 3 years ago, I decided to start it again on hard mode. And I think like Sixation says, as you get older, it's not as hard as you remember, right? Like you just do it, and it's a lot easier. You have to preserve your bullets.
Yep.
And now that you understand how how the mechanics work, so it's a lot less hard. So.
Yeah, that's
manage-
one big thing about survival horror in general. What
Yes.
do I kill? What can I run past?
Yep. And then manage inventory and manage bullets and stuff.
I have such a
And-
problem managing inventory that my chat has a drinking game for every time I say the word over encumbered.
I'm guessing Resident Evil 4 isn't the game for you then, huh?
No,
Oh.
my God.
That
What
was
are
a
you
horrible
buying?
Give
one
me
for
more
that.
Yeah.
space. I can only
Yeah.
fit those little squares in so many places.
Tetris style, yeah.
Yeah, the new Resident Evil wasn't as bad, but you did run into inventory issues in that one too. They always make you kind of do the Tetris thing a little bit.
Yeah, the new one had like a box you could put your stuff in like all over the place. So that wasn't so bad.
Yeah, the item boxes is pretty much a staple for the series. I'd say most of the games. I know they took it out of Resident Evil 0. That's where they actually let you just drop your items on the floor, which is fantastic.
Yes.
Until there's an item that you realize you need halfway through the
Yes.
game, and you didn't use it since the beginning of the game. You have to run all the way back to get it. There's
Yeah.
no item boxes that kind of transfer
Yeah.
around. But
The 2-player system in 0 was kind of hit or miss, right?
I will always respect 0 for doing something different.
Different.
Even
Yeah,
if it's
trying.
Even if it's not like as good as it was for RE1 remake and RE2 and all these other ones, I will always respect it because it tried something different.
Yes.
Yep. And a lot of developers are scared to do so because nowadays you have gamers and they're going to be upset about this or upset about that. You try to please everyone and then please no one, if you know what I'm saying.
what was that most recent game show? I forget which one it was, where they showed like 4 different horror games and every single one was a space horror game.
Yeah, it was
On PlayStation, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Good lord!
Was it-
oh my,
it was
okay, cool.
PlayStation, I think.
By the time the 4th one's on, I was like, wow, really? Like,
more. Yeah.
why do we need these?
So since you're a fan of horror, did you ever play through the Dead Space games?
I did. I never finished Dead Space 3. Dead Space 3 is kind of
I didn't finish that one either.
But I did play and beat 1 and 2.
Nice. There was also this more arcade style Dead Space, right? With the you could shoot like a Resident Evil Chronicles where you have to like shoot players around. What's it called? Like Dead Space.
I don't remember that one. I don't know if I ever played that one.
I don't either.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I'm usually
it's-
pretty
I know
good
there's
about trying to
3.
stay up to date on my horror games. Like I'm usually pretty good about it. There's not too many retro ones that I haven't played. Most of the ones I haven't played are like Clock Tower 1 on the PS1,
Clock
Kodeka.
Tower.
Wow.
They are just incredibly expensive, and
Yes.
I just
Now, didn't
God.
Clock Tower have that villain with the scissors that would kill you or
Scissor-
whatever?
yep.
yes, Scissor Man.
Yeah.
Scissor Man.
Yeah,
I
that was
remember
awesome.
that.
Yeah.
So again, we were talking earlier about the fan translations. The original Clock Tower, which was on the Super Nintendo, never came out in the States. It never did. But you can actually buy fan reproduction cartridges in English if you want to play an actual Clock Tower, like the original Clock Tower one on your SNES, which I'm a fan of. And it's the same reason why I've got my PS2 modded, why my Dreamcast is modded, why all this other stuff is, because a lot of games, like I said, they never came here. And nobody can tell me any different. But playing a game on my computer with a PS2 controller is not the same as playing it on my PS2 with a PS2 controller.
Now you're in Jeff's territory, because see, myself, I love retro stuff, but I'm not what you would say a retro collector. There's probably a few things I would certainly put on the wall, and absolutely. But I'm happy emulating most of the stuff, and emulation has come a long way. It's not perfect, absolutely not.
Yeah.
But Jeff, he says you're not playing retro games if you're emulating it. You got to have the console plugged into a CRT.
I got my CRT right here too.
I'm a console guy, and there is a place for emulation. I openly admit that. I've played Pi Packer before, jam.gg or whatever it's called now. You know, I've done it. I've played it. I've got emulation software on other computers. I'm just a console. I'm just a hardware. I like a nice, good piece of hardware to plug in. And
I'm the same way. Rule of Rose was mentioned earlier. Kuon was mentioned earlier. If you guys don't know, Rule of Rose and Kuon, they're about $1,000 a piece.
Ooh,
yeah.
They are insanely
even more in Canada.
Yeah, they are insanely expensive. They've never been ported anywhere else. They've never been re-released, remastered. Never, ever, ever happened. So I've got them both on my PS2 hard drive. I haven't played them yet, but I have them both on here to play now on my PS2. But I'm sorry, I can't drop $1,000 on a game. I don't make that kind of money.
So, well, here's a follow-up question to that then. So apparently you're not into Neo Geo then, collecting, I mean.
I haven't gotten around to it yet. I would love to own a Neo Geo one day. I'd love to own a Neo Geo Pocket. I would love to. Haven't gotten around to it yet. I'm missing one console that I absolutely want. I haven't found a good deal on one yet. It's a Sega CD. I really, really want a Sega
No way,
CD.
really?
Specifically a Model 2. I do have a Genesis Model 1, but the Model 1 Sega CD breaks down more because it's got like a disc drive that comes out, whereas the Model 2, it's like a Walkman CD player, it just pops up.
Yep.
So I'm specifically looking for that, but I have not found a good deal on it. But after I get the Sega CD, then I want to look into other stuff, Neo Geo. I don't mind spending a lot of money on a console, but I don't want to spend $1,000 on a game.
Well, they go above and beyond. If you go look at the Neo Geo community, they will take an old Neo Geo console and they'll retrofit it with HDMI out and all this stuff. But the cartridges though are like $800 to $1,000 to $2,000 a piece, and the cartridges are this big too. They're like huge, but
I would totally buy a Neo Geo console and literally just keep it as a display piece.
Yeah, no, I would too, man. I absolutely would.
Shout out to our friend Crow Resin. He actually saw a Neo Geo in the wilds yesterday.
Wow.
Up for sale for about $3,000.
Was it $3,000?
But he did not pull. He did not pull the
Man.
trigger on it, and I went, "Well, did you start negotiating?" And he's like, "Nah, the guy just got it in, and wasn't quite in the. He was still researching. So hate when they start doing the research. If you can scoop in and get it, try to.
I know what I got. No low balls.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I can't wait. What a segue! No, I'm just
there you
kidding.
go. It's still in the original box. That's a good bit of it right there.
Oh yeah, that is probably $1,500 of that price right there.
You
As
can
they
sell it
added-
for whatever you
imagine.
want. Somebody's gonna buy it.
Yeah.
The 2017 was the date where gaming started going high value for some reason. It just went crazy.
We all know why gaming's gone up in value.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
We all
We've
know.
discussed it. We've discussed it many times on the channel.
I've been to a couple of game swaps where I've sent the hosts pictures of games and some of just the stupid prices
Yes.
of just stupid games and
Yeah.
stupid games, stupid prices, great games.
Yeah.
But it's just,
Stooges on PS1, stupid game.
I can't. Yeah, I just can't pull the trigger on a $200 game
Yeah.
for my collection. And there's a couple that I want. I just haven't been able to pull the trigger yet because they're just not where I want them. So
yeah, Obscure is the only one that I paid triple digits for a game. But again, I was quoted way lower than what it normally goes for. So I felt, I mean, I had a choice, but I also felt like I don't really have a choice. Like I have to get it now or never.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I would be remiss if I didn't mention this. Ray Sherrod was this close to owning a Neo Geo. Him and like 3 buddies were going to all go in on it, but it was still pretty pricey, so they did not. Plus, they would have probably had to have a knife fight to see who actually got it
like,
home.
what do you decide to do
You know, when they got it
Yeah.
out to the parking lot.
1 week a month, we just swap it around. It's at my
Oh my
house
gosh.
this week, your house next.
Yeah, that's the first.
I think
The
they were
first
all
one
live
will not
no,
do
but
that.
they're all living together, and then of course at some point when they all go their separate ways, what happens to it, right? So,
Yeah,
I think they
that's the
could come up
question.
with an
Dog.
agreement.
You
I
better
think
buy them out when they leave.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, Star Fox, a game. I'm going to say this all wrong. I already started it wrong. New Star Fox game leaked by Insider coming to the Nintendo Switch. Star Fox is one of those titles that I loved. Although I would get my butt kicked when they brought the multiplayer element to the 64. I would just get shot out of the sky. But what are your guys' opinion on a new Star Fox coming out? Would you be interested in that?
Absolutely. I played a lot of Star Fox 64 as a kid. I never played the OG Star Fox until recently because I didn't grow up with an SNES. I was not an SNES kid. I didn't actually own my first SNES till a couple of years ago. So there's a lot of great SNES titles out there that I'm slowly getting my way to play. But I mean, Star Fox 64 is one of the best 64 games. Period.
Yeah, a game I would check out is ActRaiser. That's a fantastic game.
One of my viewers actually sent me a reproduction copy of it. They sent me 2 repro copies, so they wanted to see me play these games. Like, hey, I'm sorry, I can't afford. I was like, dude, I don't care. If you want to send me repro copies, I genuinely do not care because I want to play the games on the original.
That's
console.
cool.
Yeah,
It may not
that
be
you
the
don't
original
mind
game, but I
that,
want to
yeah.
play them. But he sent me a copy of ActRaiser right here.
Nice.
He also sent me another one that I've never heard of called Soul Blazer.
Oh
Yes. Oh, Soul Blazer. Yes. This is a part of a 3 set of games. Terraria, Soul Blazers, and there's one in on PlayStation 1, but I can't remember the name just like that. But it's a very cool series of
I'll look
RPGs.
into it because I like playing my games in order, even if one of the games sucks. I like playing my games in order. I've had a copy of Clock Tower 3 forever, and I actually broke down and played it recently. But I wanted to play, Clock Tower 1 on PS1.
I'm the
first.
same.
Then I wanted to play Clock Tower 2, and I know Clock Tower 2 is one of the biggest pieces of dog poop on the PS1. I know it, but I still wanted to play it first. And I eventually was like, you know what? I'm just not going to play these games anytime soon.
There's no such thing as bad games when you come to retro.
Well, Clock Tower 2 specifically, from what I've been told, can actually soft lock you like most way through the game to where it's that bad.
Yeah.
There are definitely some bad games out there, but mostly people who just don't. It doesn't.
Well, I think you'll really like ActRaiser. It's you're like a god, and it's like Sim Earth kind of in like just a subtle way, but then you do 2D side-scrolling missions to defeat enemies and stuff. It's really cool though, but you get prayed to and all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah, I saw a friend of mine play a little bit of it. I wasn't really sure what it was, and then once he told me, I was like, "Oh crap! Somebody just bought this game for me." I don't want to see it. But I saw like the little Cupid flying around and like burning down areas and rebuilding other areas.
The soundtrack is also amazing in this game.
So Sixation and NinjaGuyX, have you guys saw the Lego's new Atari set?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
But I don't know much about it though.
Okay, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Ray bought 1 or 2 of these. We'll have to find out for sure when he comes back on the show. But it says Lego's Atari set is better than anything Atari itself has made in years. That's what this article says, man. I didn't write it. I love Atari, so.
Now, in their defense, well, not in their defense, it's 2,500 and something pieces. Everyone kept saying, "Could you have not made it 2,600 pieces?"
Yeah.
That would have made a lot of sense.
That would have been clever.
Like you got to 2,530 or something. Could you not find 70 more lousy pieces and make
Cut some in half or something?
I don't know, something like, I think that was, and a number of people have agreed that is a big letdown. Anyways.
Yeah, so it looks like
I absolutely want this. I've wanted the NES one for a while too. Because I love how the like with the NES one you can actually like have the TV scroll, which I thought was a really cool concept of it.
Yeah,
I know they recently hiked the price up on certain sets, including the NES one, but it's like $300.
Yeah, I just like the fact that they're usable. You know what I mean? It's not just a decorative piece. Yeah, so like you see these little games, they actually plug into the system. And so you build the system, and then you got a little diorama or whatever you want to call it that is up here. And anyway, yeah, you're literally able to play this thing. It says Atari is a mess these days, a disaster of a gaming brand. I don't agree with that. Yeah, what the hell am I reading this for? Except for this thing. This thing I can fully get behind. While the company's name might have been dragged, whatever, buddy. Kicked while it was down in the early 90s. I can tell these guys don't like Atari. Holy crap.
Yeah. Centipede Recharged. That's an awesome game from Atari that came out not too long ago. Come on. Greater
Zeal making the new VCS console. The Atari does have a new VCS console. And they're actually releasing decent reimagined games. Centipede Recharged is one of them that is absolutely great. And I love that. So I can't wait for Yar's Revenge Recharged or Reimagined, whatever they end up calling it. But here's the Lego thing here. Let's watch just a short little commercial, I guess.
I know Ray bought a couple of these, and I would too if I had the skill to build it, and I had the time to build it. And I
know it comes with instructions, right?
Oh, it's got to, but I think building a computer is easier than building intricate Legos.
Pieces. Like, oh my God, it would take me a month of
come on.
It would take me decades. It would take me decades. Will said start a YouTube stream, special YouTube segment on just me building this thing.
That's a lot of content, though.
Clearly, you never watched me play Tony Hawk.
Yeah, clearly they're not going to show me what I'm looking for. But anyway, that's what it looks like. It looks really.
You don't have to mute yourself while you're building an Atari, though. So
that's true. But it looks really cool, man. It looks like it could be a really neat display piece and all that stuff. But all right,
maybe in the new man cave when I finish building. Although I am going to have a CRT somewhere near me. Because when I was staying at my parents' house earlier this year because of COVID, I was actually streaming some stuff on my Sega. I'd plug it into the old TV, and then I had my 4K camera pointing to the television, and then I had me on another camera. So I will have a like you. I will have a CRT behind me at some point in the.
Fancy. I thought you were going to say you put that in the man cave to stay warm. You know.
Oh, I will. It is cool down. It is cold down there.
Absolutely. Well, Jeff, we've made it to your segment, sir.
Woo! Woo! All right. So for those that don't know, every week I take a look at what games are coming out on the next few days up until our next show. And I go through all the games and I try to highlight interesting ones, some from US, Canada, from around. I think there's all American, US, Canada ones this week. And then I try to pick things I've forgotten about or games I know people like or people hate or whatever. So, and I try to bounce around from different genres and different things. So, on this day, happens to be August 14th, in 1993, James Bond 007, The Duel for the Genesis came out.
I didn't know James Bond had a game on the Genesis.
I was about to say
here.
the same thing.
Yeah.
I remember James Pond, but not Bond.
James Pond.
I played.
I remember the art
on
to that box.
But that was 007 GoldenEye.
Whoa.
That was.
Oh my.
Man, that's
wow. That was an interesting.
Again.
Yeah, that wasn't Pierce Bronson. It was the guy before Pierce, I think, or after him. Yeah, that was definitely not Pierce. Oh wow, you got a jetpack.
Oh, why'd you put down the jetpack?
For 2 seconds.
I wanted to keep that.
What is that? A hat? A top hat?
Oh, of course we got to rescue the ladies. Yeah.
Might be Odd Job if it was a hat.
Where'd you put her
around.
in your pocket?
Oh my gosh. High score. Hey, he's done.
Oh, way to go, Paul. Paul Bayram
Run.
there. Paul, first place. Way to go, Mr. Bayram.
No, yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah, you could hide in the door.
Man, I remember
It definitely gives it whenever games do that, it gives it like a 3D element to the 2D game. I really appreciate it.
Yes.
You know, they did kind of like a few similar things with like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and I really like those kinds
There's
of games.
the parallax, I think it's called, also like the animation in the back that you could do back in the day, which was pretty impressive.
I want him to
Yeah,
climb.
this actually looks like I would play this. I would check this out.
It does not look that bad at all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cool stuff.
no doubt.
It really reminds me.
Goes along with it though.
I have a Sega Genesis. I might have to look.
You might have to look into that one, Jeff.
Yeah.
I might have to. Metroid for the NES. I think we're all Metroid fans.
What is
here.
that? What's
Now,
that game?
NinjaGuyX, and then Sixation. Tell us your thoughts and memories of Metroid if you played it.
Yeah, definitely. My first time playing Metroid was Super Metroid on the Super Nintendo. My cousin's neighbor had it, and yeah, we played a bunch. I've only heard like a few years later that it actually that there was actually like a NES one, and I haven't played it much because it kind of requires you to map out where you're going because it's very confusing without a map, right? Like, and without a guide, you know. So I've never actually finished it, but I did enjoy that a lot.
Nice.
Yeah, and
So-
Crow just I was talking about Dick Tracy, not Who Framed Roger Rabbit. They're both very similar games.
Yes.
But yeah, I was talking about Dick Tracy. I can't believe I said Roger Rabbit. But this is one of my all-time favorite games for Nintendo. Bionic Commando, of course, is number one for me. But this game was much like, even though this was sort of a RPG, meaning you had to work your way through the entire game and get certain upgrades and stuff. I could jump in and play this just like I could Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. I had a lot of fun with this title. And did either of you guys beat this game?
So I have never actually played this one. Metroid is one of those series that I know is very beloved by a lot of people, but I feel like Metroid didn't really take off until Super Metroid. And like I said before, I didn't have a Super Nintendo growing up. So in general, the Metroid series doesn't mean a lot to me.
Gotcha.
The first ones that I played were actually the Game Boy Advance games, Zero
Nice.
Mission and
Fusion.
Fusion. Yeah, so I
Yeah.
played and beat both those. Love both of them. Like absolutely love both those games. But yeah, I tried doing a charity event with this Metroid game where myself and a bunch of other content creators like we beat the game and we mailed the game to the next person. Like once we beat it, we kind of signed the cartridge.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
And I decided to do it with DuckTales instead. I still haven't gotten around to it, but DuckTales and then Chippendales Rescue Rangers. I want to do it with those instead.
Those are
so when I
great
tried doing
titles.
when I tried doing it with this one, a lot of people warned me, like, no, this isn't a good game to do it because you have to draw a map. It takes a long time to
Yeah.
beat. And I'm like,
Yes.
all right, cool. Lesson learned. Never played it before. I have both of the labels for it. Like I have the yellow label and the silver one. And I was like, well, since I got two copies of the game, I'll take the least rare of the two, and we'll just do a charity thing out of it. But yeah, I've never actually played this one.
Yeah, something that surprised me when I was a kid is after beating the game, you restart it, or you can do it with a code, I believe. But Seamus, I think, is the name you type in. Anyway, this is the first title that I ever played where the main character was a female. And it blew me away. I played through the whole game thinking I was this tough space marine, and then come to find out I'm this badass, tough chick space marine. And it kind of blew me away a little bit.
And Samus is still an icon to this day.
Yes, absolutely, man. So I don't buy into that, that back in the day there was no strong female characters in games or movies. I don't buy that. Like Princess Leia, she was a very strong character,
Yeah, and Alien, right? Alien.
Yes,
had a
Sigourney
nice
Weaver.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, Metroid is a fantastic game.
All right, what do we got next, Will?
All right. I was gonna.
I already did this morning. You don't think I remember what I put on the list?
I have to show Mother Brain real quick.
Oh, my brain. Hell yeah.
This was a interesting final boss, and then you also have the escape. You got to get out at a certain amount of time. But it was very, very, very cool. Okay.
If you die from Mother Brain, didn't you have to start from very far away?
You had to.
Like that?
I think you had to drop back down that tube and make entrance to the thing again.
Oh wow.
I think so, and I don't think they I think you lose your missiles or whatever in the process too. I think so.
Insane. Yeah.
It's very difficult. back in the day.
The next one I put on for you, Will, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. And I know you're a big D&D guy. I was a D&D guy in the 80s. So I never had an Intellivision, but I remember this game.
Wow.
And because I was alive in the 80s.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever played on an
I.
Intellivision. I played on a ColecoVision,
Tiny.
and that was the first game I ever played. Was called Illusion. I kind of like the moving animation. That's actually pretty good for Atari.
It was
I
a
like
pretty
the
known
map
game.
reveal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a pretty known game back in the day.
Yeah.
So
I
is
remember,
this
go
a more a more complex version of like adventure? Is that what we're kind of looking at here?
Yeah, I'd say so.
You could say that, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Adventure, you were a little square, but you actually had to progress and get keys and slay dragons, and but it's D&D, so I imagine there's a lot of that in here. Very interesting.
I'm more familiar with the Commodore 64 Dungeons and Dragons games, and this is more of a you follow like a DM and everything. It's more like of the regular Dungeons and Dragons style. So, yeah,
Absolutely. Very interesting though for first tries. You know,
Like I said, I pull out stuff people forgotten about. So Astro Boy for the Game Boy, but there was also a PlayStation 1 or 2 version.
I brought up the Game Boy version.
Yeah, there was also, I just couldn't put both in, but yeah, there was also a PlayStation version of this Astro Boy as well. But I put
Astro Boy. I never played Astro Boy. Have any of you guys?
I remember the anime a little bit, but I've never played any of the games.
I remember the Game Boy
wow.
Advance announcement. I feel like it was
It looks
late
good.
Yeah.
in the Game Boy Advance era. I feel like it was around the end of the Game Boy. So I think you have the date there, right?
I always forget, man, how advanced Game Boy Advance, and the DS, how all those, you know, how far they came from Game Boy, you know?
Yes.
Because this does look good. It looks fun,
Definitely.
too. I love
Yeah,
these
and
types of games.
The reason why it wasn't known much is because it was around the end of the era, right? Like when they have games coming out when the console is almost done, the games are not really well known and they don't make a lot of copies and things like that. That's what happened mostly.
Well, I know Astro Boy was also
2004,
way bigger in Japan too.
Yes. Yeah.
Question for you guys. Did either of you guys ever play like Life Force or there's a few of them, but yeah.
I don't believe I have.
Yeah, Life Force is an amazing game. You'd know if you played it. There's like a giant eyeball with arms and stuff. You got to shoot. And
also,
Gradius was another really good one.
Shoot 'em, for shmups in general. Yeah, I love Gradius. Raiden as well, or Raiden, however you want to say
Yeah, that was a real good
Oh,
one.
shmups. I like it.
it.
I've never heard that.
So the next two I've actually forgotten about. Top Hat Willie for DOS.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Top Hat Willie. I found it.
Yeah.
For DOS.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think I
wow.
sent this. Did I send this link to you? I think I sent this link to you just to make it easier. But yes,
Now-
I played this. My son was just over a year old when this game came out. So
Wow.
a lot of times I was hanging out, not hanging out with him, but doing stuff. And I was also playing this at the same time. So
If this is
when
not
you go for a
sped
nap-
up, this is very fluid, man. For an
Yeah.
older title, I have to say, as fast as he's moving and
So he'd go for his little naps, and his mother would be working, and I would be doing a little bit of this when I was home with him. Top Hat. I
Wow.
forgot another one of those like Hugo's House of Horrors that I just forgot all about until I saw it on the list. I'm like, right.
so all right. So you've played this, Jeff. What's the point
Oh,
of this
oh.
game?
Oh, I don't know. Save something. Get to the end. I
Save the princess.
It's 20 years ago. I don't remember what I had for lunch yesterday. I don't remember now.
Well, that looks cool, man, for an old title. I'd check it out.
Yeah. And then Endgame came out on everything. It's not the Endgame you're thinking of.
Yeah, it's not the MCU end game.
It is not. I'm not even sure it's this one.
I think it is.
I sent you the graphics to it.
Okay.
I sent you the graphics. I'm not, because it was supposed to be more on a ship, if I remember correctly. Is he on a ship?
Oh, I remember that a little bit.
Yeah, I think it was. I thought the one I'm thinking of, it was on a ship, but it wasn't for the. It never came out for the PS2. Yeah, see,
Terrorists threaten the endgame. Terrorists threaten the global economy by attacking ships. Iran fires up a nuclear reactor and starts a weapons program. North Korea is in reach of deploying submarine-based nukes. Enough. While enjoying a well-deserved week of shore leave at a private villa in Tuscany, your vacation is abruptly cut short. You're a high-ranking admiral. Yeah, that's the wrong game, Jeff. That is not the correct game.
That looks really good. I've never seen that PS2 game before, but that looks really good.
Endgame?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that one out.
Yeah, I love those shooting games, man. Time Crisis is some of my favorite arcade shooters.
I've got a gun con for the Sega Saturn, for Dreamcast, PS2, NES. I love those so much. Man,
Dreamcast is one of my most underrated favorite consoles ever, man. And I love Seaman. That game is amazing. It's so niche and weird.
I actually just got my microphone in recently so I can play that.
Nice.
Ray is here. Ray is here. Hello,
Nice.
Ray.
We hope you're doing well, Ray.
Yes.
Get better, sir.
Yes. Out Trigger was a good game, I think, on the Dreamcast for an arcade shooter, on-rail shooter. Yeah.
Yeah. Warcraft 2, the Dark Saga for the PlayStation and the Sega.
This was my first game of this kind. And I
do not play this with a controller, is my advice.
Yeah, I did it with a mouse and keyboard.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, how many loading screens is there in there?
Woo! Oh, he's skipping right to the good stuff.
Let's go.
The more loading screens. That's the great stuff.
Absolutely. There we go.
Hell yeah.
Oh, wow.
Man, the music in Warcraft 2 was so good, too. That's one of the...
It was. A good atmosphere. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man, these games have came so far, man.
Yeah.
Like, you can barely tell what their animations are doing. But now you can see fine detail on those small characters.
They don't make them like they used to, eh?
No doubt.
Yeah.
That was a good title, though. Great series.
So 1998 for the Windows. Rainbow Six. I know you guys are still playing Rainbow Six games.
Yes,
I've actually been playing this one this year. I've played a few hours.
You've been playing this title.
This exact one, yeah. It's
what are you
strategic? Oh my gosh, it's crazy. Like, the first few levels is not too bad because they make the strategy for you. But in the later level, you have to control. You have to tell where the other players needs to go, when they need to stop, and you need to tell them like when they need to go, like smash a house and invade and stuff like that. It's so like if you like strategy game, like this is the game. Like it's really, really crazy.
Yeah,
I really recommend it.
I really like the way it's one of the first games where you could really have a squad that you had full control of. You stay here and watch. You breach this door. Like it was really cool to set it all up.
Yes.
And then if you could do multiplayer with real people, some of these did have that as well. Then all of you could coordinate, and that's really cool.
Is so cool.
I didn't play much of the Rainbow Six game myself. The Tom Clancy games that I mainly played were the Splinter Cell ones.
Those were really well received, man. They really revolutionized the sneaking mechanic and all the things like being spotted in the day or from the light from the light bulbs and stuff. You could shoot them out and really, really cool stuff. But yeah, this looks really cool.
Have you played the first Ghost Recon, William?
Yes.
That was a hard one too, right? If you remember, like you could die so easily in that game.
Yes, so easy, man.
August 22nd, 1997. Sonic Jam for the Sega Saturn.
Nice.
No, I never heard of Sonic Jam, so you'll have to educate me.
A collection of other Sonic games. Like the Sega Saturn never had its own unique mainline Sonic game. Like it had Sonic R, which was a Sonic racing game.
So was this a way for them to get their other Sonic titles onto the console, or?
Yeah, this was like a collection of Sonic games is all it is. You do have like an open world HUD that you can kind of explore around and whatnot, but there's not a whole lot to do. It's mostly just a port of the Genesis games.
Right. My wife has ringtones on her phone, and it's collecting one of the rings, and then dun 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 dun. That's yeah, it's
Nice.
amazing.
The Extra Life theme.
Yeah.
Yeah, the extra life. Yes, that's what it is.
So yeah, this is the open world HUD right here. Where
Oh,
you can go around,
interesting.
collect rings. You have
umbrella
there's like a
logo
little
right
movie
there.
area where you can watch. It's actually pretty interesting. There's like a movie area where you can watch some of the Japanese commercials, which they are wild.
Wow.
I wonder what Sonic game they have on there.
It was the Genesis games from what I remember. Sonic 1, 2, 3, and
Yeah,
the Sonic and
so.
Knuckles.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Spinball was pretty fun. I remember playing that one.
Yeah, love it. I've started.
I beat Spinball for the first time ever a few months ago, and
Cool.
Oh,
PlayStation,
God.
25 seconds. Nice job, buddy.
Wow.
Yeah, I never beat Spinball. That's for sure. I'm pretty sure I did not.
it's God, it's a brutal game.
Oh, and I gotta go down. Boom. I never heard of this one either, Jeff. I thought you were
Fighter.
trolling me.
Deep Fighter for I never troll. I am not a troll. I never troll. Not when it comes to retro, anyways. Deep Fighter for the Dream, a fighter, even can't speak for the Dreamcast.
Words are hard.
Deep Fighter.
What'd I say? I don't know.
Oh, no, you said Deep Fighter.
Okay.
I've just never played this game or seen it.
Yeah, it
Ever.
doesn't ring a bell at all.
I played a lot of Dreamcast games. I don't think I played this one though.
So let's see what this is all about.
That is my job here, is to pull out games that that is why we do this segment. It's not all your.
Oh, got some
Oh.
FMV.
FMVs.
Hell yeah.
Oh my God, I have the biggest weakness for FMVs.
That's what it is.
Like,
It's I think it's a submarine game, and it's FMV cutscenes, and then you go and
Like Super
guy-
Shark and
that guy looked like Tom Brady.
wait, what did the crabs do to you? They're literally blasting crabs.
Come on,
Oh my gosh,
Maury.
it's gonna crash! It's gonna crash! Oh.
Come on, Maury 2. You can do this. Come on, Maury.
Thorium.
Yeah, what is Thorium?
It's got to be an energy.
Right.
Oh yeah, it's looks like it's radioactive.
Oh,
Come on, Maury. Oh, Dave is coming after him. He's going to catch up to you. Oh,
reminds me of that.
oh, it's a tie between Maury and Dave. Oh, right.
Be careful of the crabs, matey. Well, Deep Fighter looks like a submarine game. Interesting.
I used to love this TV show, Starsky and Hutch.
I love the game. The game is so good
Oh, so
on
fun.
the GameCube
Yeah, so
because
fun.
it's co-op. One of the player drives and
Yeah.
the other player shoots.
Yeah.
Oh my god! The music is made by Tim Fallon, the guy who made this Silver Surfer and Rock and Roll Racing that I show on vinyl. It's one of his last soundtrack that he composed.
And it's one of those
And-
iconic cars.
Hey, open
Yes.
fire on the car. It's okay. I put the traffic light up.
Yeah, it's fine.
Shoot
Oh,
the
but
traffic lights.
It's really an underappreciated game.
Very,
It's so
very,
fun.
very
So fun.
appreciated.
Yeah.
I really
Starsky
wanna play
and
this now.
Hutch.
I got to get a friend to come over so we can play this together.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't even
definitely.
know it was co-op, man.
And,
Yeah.
and it's cheap. Like you find this game for like $5 in every pawn shop. Nobody likes this game. I don't know why, but
Huh.
it's so fun.
Yeah.
Well, Starsky and Hutch was on for years, wasn't it, Jeff?
I don't know how many years, but so you
Yeah,
were
it's not for a while.
talking Mario Bros 2, Commodore
Oh.
64 version. I told you we were going to
Huh.
revisit that. So the Commodore 64 version.
Yeah, this is an oldie.
Oh, load asterisk, comma 8,1.
Hell yeah. I used to own a Commodore 64. It was so fun.
I used to have a pet. I had a VIC 20. I had a Commodore 64. I was actually talking to my brother about the CRT, and I said, "Where are those? Whatever happened to those?" He's like, they might be in the attic with everything else. Like,
Let me tell you, the music I'm hearing in my ear is not Mario. I will
Is it
tell you
metal?
that.
Is it
No.
black metal? No. Okay.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'm
Man,
getting
it's
Doom
like a
Eternal
sequel.
vibes.
Yeah, it's like the sequel of the old, like the first Mario. Right?
Yeah. That's what it looks like, but it actually looks like this is it. You don't even have the
the
It looks
enemies.
nothing like the other one.
So we're just loading up beer.
That's what it looks like.
Or THS, whatever that is.
Ooh, look at that.
Whoa!
Fancy.
Yeah, I'm tripping out.
Yeah, careful if you're photos sensitive here.
We didn't have those back in the 80s. There was none of that.
No,
in the 80s.
that didn't exist. Yeah,
that did not exist back in the 80s. Now, you guys all know I'm not a Jurassic Park guy, but I threw this in for everybody else. The Lost World.
I remember this game.
Jurassic
Oh, really?
Park. I didn't like the movies. I didn't see any of them. I
Oh,
saw,
I
I saw,
did
I
play
saw the
this
first
game.
one, but yeah.
Now on Sega and Sega CD and maybe even 32X, they had a few different Jurassic Park games, and some of them you played as the guy Grant, and other ones you played as a dinosaur.
that sounds cool.
So when you say, I've got a Jurassic World or a Jurassic Park game,
You do have to
they're
clarify.
they're very different.
See, this is what I was talking about earlier, where there's just a lot of games that I've forgotten that I played. I remember playing this game.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about this game since I was a kid, but I definitely played this game.
Yep.
Cool looking game.
When I
Let's
go
a little bit further.
when I research this segment every week, it's like, oh, I forgot about that. And there's just so many. There's just so many I want to put in. I could do an entire show on just this week in retro. Like
Now
so many.
that
fun
would have been fun to do. Chase a
That
guy
looks-
down as a T-Rex and
I was
eat
gonna say, are
him.
you the T-Rex?
I think so.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
Yeah.
That looks fun as heck. Oh my
It
gosh.
does.
I want to play that.
They need a game just you running around as a dinosaur eating people, like that shark game for the PC.
Maneater.
Yeah, Maneater. But with dinosaurs, I think that would be awesome. Oh, don't eat that, buddy.
That's like the hardcore version of Rampage.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And speaking of Rampage, what an amazing game that is.
Our friend
Yeah.
Squids would not like this eating being a carnivore, eating people. As a vegetarian, he would not. He would not.
Nimbus Cloud, how are you doing, brother? I hope you're doing well, my friend. Haven't heard from you in a while. Hope you're doing good, man.
So our final game, August 27th, because our next show is on the 28th, 2004, The Simpsons Hit and Run. Every copy I see, I don't know about where you guys live, it's over $100.
Yep.
It's expensive, man. Why? I have no idea.
For this game.
Did you
Have you
hear
It's a classic.
Have you
about that
seen-
guy who
have
was
you
doing
seen-
a fan project to remake it, but he's
Yeah.
he's animating all the scenes instead of
He
being
is.
CG like that?
I
Yeah,
have
he's
not
doing-
seen that.
He's doing it all in Unreal 5.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
That'll look amazing.
Yeah, he does. He every week or every 2 weeks he releases a new episode, and it's a very good series.
Well,
but
I
I've
think the
never seen-
gameplay.
I've never seen this for under $100.
I think
and
the gameplay in this game is just a little weak, but because it's kind of like Crazy Taxi, But I really do really love the way they captured the characters from The Simpsons.
Oh,
It really made you feel like you were playing The Simpsons.
I think you're thinking about another game, William.
Yeah,
There's
not Hit and
two
Run.
games.
Which one was it?
There was another
one.
Simpsons game.
Yeah, I
that's-
can't
That's
remember.
the one I play.
Road Rage.
Road
Road
Rage.
yeah.
Rage.
That's
You
the
got
one.
it.
Oh,
That's the one-
this
that's
is the
one-
RPG.
Yeah,
This is like Grand Theft Auto type. Of,
Yeah.
Simpsons, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Road Rage is the one that I play
Ah,
Okay.
on my Friday nights. That's why
I'll
you
have
remember, that's yeah.
I'll have to check this one out.
Yeah, but I've never found it under $100. At least in
This
Canada.
is
I don't know
the
what
hidden
we're-
gem. Everybody loves it, but it's one of those that's never been re-released, never been
No.
ported, and yeah, it's just you can't find it anywhere for
I-
a reasonable price.
I don't know if it was the same guy you're talking about that I know. But he made a playable one, which was playable for about 12 hours, and then it got shut down.
uh-huh.
It was a very recent article that I saw maybe a week ago or so.
Oh yeah, no. If you check it, I'll find the link and I'll send it to everybody.
Hmm.
Because it shows it because I subscribe to his channel. So he's been recreating this entire series. But he also don't know if it was him, but somebody made a playable version, but it got shut down by.
Yeah,
Warner
you
Brothers.
can't do that, right? It's really
No.
annoying. Like if you don't have the license, they just
Yes.
shut
So I know
those
whoever
products
owns The
down.
Simpsons. I think it's Disney now, right? So within 12 hours, it was shut right down.
Oh yeah,
So-
Disney is quick on that shit.
So is
Yeah.
Rockstar. There was a
Yeah.
person working on a Red Dead Redemption 1 remake,
Oh, wow.
and they got shut down.
Yeah.
So Rockstar, give us one. Come on now.
Yeah.
Don't shut them down.
We
Hire
want
them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no doubt. Yeah,
Exactly.
put them to work.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's an awesome game. Now we're gonna end on a funny thing real quick, a little adult humor, and then we're gonna go around and see where we can find everybody and what they're gonna be up to. So I ran across this title right here. This is an adult meaning X-rated video game for the Atari. Now I thought this game was made recently, like homebrew. Somebody was like, "Hey, I got a funny idea. I'm gonna release this game." No. This came out in 1982, and it's
plus content for sure.
And it's Mystique presents Swedish something. Beat 'em.
Erotica, it says.
Oh, erotica. Okay, it says beat 'em and eat 'em. Okay, so use your imagination, I guess. We're gonna jump over.
We never had ratings. We never had video game and movie ratings back in the 70s and 80s, right? There was none of that nonsense.
I think anybody could publish games, right?
Mystique is the company that publishes. They did a bunch of adult title games.
Yeah,
I'll be sorry.
And I have to repeat, it's called Beat 'em and Eat 'em. Okay,
you didn't have to.
It's ice cream. It's ice cream.
Yes.
Yeah.
You scream, I scream. We all scream for ice cream.
Yum. Delicious. Oh my god.
Oh my god, I just realized they have blonde pubes on them.
What? They do.
I just noticed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
They have beards.
The drapes match the curtains. Holy cow.
You know what's funny, William? These games were put in a burgundy fuzzy type of case.
Yeah.
So you couldn't see the artwork and
No, you could, but yeah, I guess not. But you would open the case, and it would be like very fluffy burgundy type of case, which would be very weird. There's also this one about a cowboy. I don't know if you guys remember.
They have beards. Sorry.
They have beards, right? It's so weird.
It's so weird, man. But what game would you say they're mimicking?
That bomb game, right? Or do they?
What, Asteroid?
Not Asteroid.
I really wish the pellets weren't yellow.
Yeah, I know. Why is it yellow?
That is just why.
Yeah. But anyway, we
only had 8 colors back in the 80s.
They could have used literally any other color.
I agree.
But we only had 8.
That was awful.
What a cool way to end the show.
I just couldn't believe it, man. In 1982, now they were not associated with Atari in any way. They just went ahead and released some games for their system. Did she eat the yellow pebble? Yes, she did, Ryzak.
It was yellow ice cream,
Yes, ice cream.
With their lips afterwards.
Banana flavored? I don't know.
All right.
Let's
well,
just go with that.
I want to thank Sixation and NinjaGuyX for making the time to join us today, man. We had a wonderful conversation, and I can't thank you enough for your time. Starting with you, NinjaGuyX, where can people find you, and what are you going to be up to? Keep in mind, all your links are in the description below. So
awesome. So you can find me at NinjaGuyX on Twitter or NinjaGuyX on YouTube. And I have so many things. So tonight on Game Over with William and Ryzak will be I'll be competing against Inley and see who has the best knowledge of Stadia, which is going to be pretty cool. Monday morning, in celebration of Stadia 1000, it's been 1000 days that Stadia came out. We'll be doing a 24-hour stream with all of the content creators. So at 6 a.m. in the morning, I'll be doing a 1-hour stream of Pixel Junk Raiders. Then at 4 p.m. on the same day, I'll be doing a stream of highlights from the Cloud Gaming Championship with Dead Run TV developer. This is my most busy week of my life, by the way, so I have a lot of stuff.
And he did a show this morning.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why thank you for your time, man. I know you've been just busy.
Yeah, this morning I started a new show. You guys can look at my channel and you'll see what it's all about. But then the last thing, on Wednesday, I have another stream where we're going to show the reaction of the creative developers about week 3 of the Cloud Gaming Championship and see what he thinks of the cool speedruns that people has done.
That's awesome.
That's it for
man.
now. Yeah.
Sixation, where can people find you and what are you going to be up to, my friend?
So I stream on Twitch. You guys see the link down below. Twitch.tv/Sixation. You can also find me on Twitter at SixationTV. I've been on a 2-month and some change hiatus due to health issues. But I'm actually going to be hoping to do my first stream back here actually in a few hours from now.
Oh wow!
I actually thought that this show was for until you guys until Jeff emailed me that I thought the show was for next week, so I got my weekends mixed up. But I've been trying to be in a in a good good mindset because mental health mental and physical health, you got to be in that right mindset to hit that go live button sometimes.
Yes.
So I'm doing my best to do that today. I play all kinds of original console, original hardware, retro games. Again, I do have a couple of Atari systems. I haven't streamed the Atari yet. It's a little I don't know what's the word, a little too archaic for me, I think.
Yeah.
I do enjoy it on occasion, but it's mostly from NES to PS2. Like I kind of just sometimes we have votes on what to play and stuff, and I kind of just go where whatever I'm feeling that day. I also play a lot of modern horror games. In fact, I just got my shirt in today for it's an indie horror company that I'm on a stream team for. So we'll probably be playing one of their games tonight. Some of you may have heard of it. It's called Mortuary Assistant.
Oh yeah,
No, I haven't.
DreadXT actually is the publishers for it.
Yeah.
So I'll be giving away some copies of that tonight along with my stream of it. I do play some Xbox 360 and PS3 games on occasion. I actually just picked up 2 new ones recently. Residents of Fate, which I've never played before. I've heard good things about it.
Very cool.
And then I got Splatterhouse, which I've been looking for quite a while. I love my horror games.
Expensive.
So-
If you play PS3, look into getting this game. It might be pricey because the controller is like the size of a pickup truck. It's called Steel Battalion.
Yep,
it's a mech game.
controller. Yep.
It's literally got like a giant. You're like sitting in front of excavator controls, kind of. When you get that
I would
controller.
love to have that eventually. I love weird gimmicky controllers. I'm actually trying to. I think it was released in Japan only, but I'm actually trying to get a twin stick controller for the Sega Saturn for some good old fashioned virtual on. I'm sure a lot of y'all remember playing that in the arcade. I play, like I said, everything from NES to PS2 for the most part. You see not all, but most of my games right here behind me. I just love retro gaming. I love talking about it. I love discovering new stuff. I love just hearing what other people enjoy playing. Like I love introducing people to games and having people introduce me to games at the same time. So I just love retro.
We appreciate you taking time out. I know this was a long haul getting you on here, but we appreciate
honestly
you.
it's what I needed. Sometimes you just need a kick in the ass to kind of get things moving again. And I'm sure a lot of us deal with introvertedness and depression and stuff like that. And sometimes just somebody kind of pushing you a little bit it does wonders.
Yes.
Well, hopefully I wasn't too pushy.
No, not at all. No, not at all. I've gotten emails from people that are too pushy, and I'm just not responding. No, just not doing that whatsoever. No, I appreciate it a lot.
What time is your stream?
I'm shooting for 8 p.m. Eastern, so 3 hours from now. Perfect. That's the plan. And I'll probably have like in a regular, stream schedule for a bit, once or twice a week until I kind of get back into the groove of things. And
that's good.
Take it from there.
Very good.
We'll take it from there. Just kind of, just see where the flow goes. Probably play some horror games tonight. If we get done with it, maybe a little bit of retro, but horror this time is the focus. Retro next time for the next stream. So
fantastic.
Perfect.
Miz Tracey, where are you going to be? Where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitch, mostly on Twitch. The link is below, twitch.tv/Miz Tracey, M-I-Z, Tracey with an E. I play a variety of stuff, not a whole lot of retro stuff, really. I've been playing a lot of 7 Days to Die, Ark, Grounded, Halo.
Have you taken a break from Conan?
I beat it. I played everything. I did everything I possibly could, but there's an update coming out where they're adding sorcery, so I'll probably pick it up again.
I see you played Stray recently, which I've been enjoying too.
Yes.
Stray is awesome.
I finished that too.
That's the cat game, right?
Yeah.
It
was adorable, and I cried throughout the game, and
I haven't beaten it yet, but the first 5 minutes definitely broke my heart.
Yeah. It's so sweet.
Fair warning for anybody who's looking to play it soon.
There's another game too that just came out on Stadia. It's a couple years old though. The one with the dog, and you're in like World War I in the trenches. Kingdom or something Heart.
Valiant Hearts.
Yes, that one is really cool too, and it'll pull on your heartstrings because you have a little dog with you and stuff helping you on the front lines.
Very emotional. Yes, I agree. It's
yep. Jeff, where can people find you? What are you going to be up to, sir?
Oh, I'm here. I'm all over the place. Let's see. Tomorrow night, I'm doing part of the Stadia 1000. I'm doing a special 2-hour stream, kind of. I'm doing the first hour, then I'm going to live redirect over to William, who's going to do the second hour. Same game, same party chat, same, but 2 different streams. So an hour on my channel, we're going to bounce over to him. Same game, same party, same everything. It's going to be fun. Wednesday, I do another community stream on Stadia, which is Crata and Super Animal Royale, and sometimes we throw something else in, depending on what people are up to and feeling that night. And then, of course, I've got Retro Gaming Friday nights, where I'll be back to playing Tony Hawk and Virtua Fighter 4. I've also got picked up a few things at a garage sale a couple Sundays ago. I did a YouTube short on it, so you'll have to go and I'll have to integrate some of those. And then I've got some other games from some indie devs on PC that they send me codes for and want me to play. So I've been playing a bunch of those. So when I can fit those in, and trying to rebuild my man cave and trying to work.
Nice.
Busy guy.
Yeah, it'll happen one day. Keep telling yourself.
One day. And big shout out to Ray, who was in the chat. His description and stuff is down below. Ray3473. He is the gaming cyborg. He will be back tonight. Yeah, tonight at 10 p.m. Tonight at 10 p.m. Pacific, 1 a.m. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody.
Oh my gosh.
1 a.m. Well, that's his usual time when he streams. So
Right. Yeah,
so
he
it's
streams at night.
So what is that PT? That's what, 10?
10 p.m. Pacific time, 1 a.m. Eastern, midnight Mountain, or midnight your time, 11 p.m. Mountain time. He will be back for the Stadia 100. He says, hopefully, and he's still not well, but he is doing this special Stadia 1000 stream. So shout out to Ray. I was peeking in his windows, so apparently I know what he's up to. So
we've been watching.
Yeah.
If I could come to California, Ray, if I was allowed to come to the U.S., there'd be a lot of other things I'd rather be doing. Fantasy football convention was just odd. There was the big retro one in Hartford. Sixation, you knew about that one. There was the big retro con in Hartford.
I know there's another one coming up here. I can't remember where it was. Somebody was talking about it.
Yeah, but the one in Hartford, not but one of my favorite retro guys, who's now named Metal Jesus, caught COVID at that event.
Oh,
and
no
I think John Riggs as well. Both got sick at the retro one. I think it was in Hartford, but it may not have been. Somebody can fact check me on that. So that's why I don't bother coming to the States. Just too much COVID around. So there's lots of stuff I'm missing out on that I'd like to go to.
That's part of why I'm not going to TwitchCon this year as much as I want to.
Same with PAX West. Same with PAX West as well. Yeah.
Another one that I wanted to go to too. Yep.
Yeah. Miss Tracey, were you going to do PAX West? Do you do any of the PAX?
I don't even know what that is.
Oh.
Well, never
it's
mind.
like a game con. Yeah.
No, I can't travel with my health issues. I can't.
Gotcha.
Or I'd be all over TwitchCon.
Exactly.
Hey, Twitch would be fun.
William, how can we see? What can we do with you?
What can you do with me? Nothing at the moment.
What you got?
I'm almost open to anything, Jeff. But no. All right. You can find me Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. CST, and every other Sunday here at Retro Rewind, and then every other Saturday at Stadia Dosage for CGR, Cloud Gaming Reviews. And I also have a little show I do with Suave, the Climax, called Man Cave, where we discuss all kinds of stuff. And you can find me doing that too. But hey, thank all of you for joining in the chat, participating, and for watching. We appreciate you guys. And that's the end of episode 11 of season 2.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Take care.